Oh my god, we're back at it. We're back at it again.
Hi.
I cannot believe that we are back at it
Somehow.
again. Despite everything, despite the universe's best efforts, we are back at
We
it again.
still loop.
Despite the loop just never ends, is what it does. All right. That's the ending list. I'm on the gallery. So last time, we had. I think this was last time. We had a very weirdly intimate moment with God, it's been too long. I can't remember all the fucking characters' names off the top of my head like I used to.
Rikiko.
Rikiko, yes. I knew her last name was started with a U, and I'm like, I can't even place what that is. Uematsu, yes. Yeah, so we have reached the, I believe this is the most recent version of the feast, because it's the most recently unlocked one, but we are down to,
That many.
yeah, but most importantly, we have sneaking suspicions about who the wolves are. Like, we pretty much know who the two wolves are at this point, with our power as the snake. And one of them, we're fairly certain, is Chikamochi. But the other one that we don't have any explicit confirmation
Fairly
for.
certain we got the
Oh,
thing.
yeah, the explicit. I couldn't
We
remember
know.
which one we did, but the other one that we don't know, or don't know for sure, but it's pretty
We suspect.
pretty darn likely is Chiemi, our love interest from the first loop, which is
Yeah.
really unfortunate. But yeah, after a bit of rest, we had tons of things to do. Top priority was cleaning up Mamiya-san and Haru-chan's remains. That's right, they both died last night. Oh, fuck.
F.
I wanted to help, but they stopped me since something might happen in the mist. I couldn't help with the food
Sucks
either.
to be you guys, but I'm still kicking.
I couldn't help with the food either, probably because they were wary of me too. I couldn't blame them considering what I said. In a way, they were now more distant with me than last time, when I was just a pure outsider. I continued watching the people carefully to do what they had to, making sure there were no blind spots under Takumi's guidance. I wanted to win. I'd gotten this far, so I wanted to defeat the wolves, though that was actually just a part of my desire to survive and expose the things I had no choice but to keep quiet about. I'd said all that horrible stuff in order to protect Mako. I just wanted to finally find peace from the stuff that bothered me. That felt like escapism, though. It seemed like proof that my mental state was weakened, and I didn't like it. Hi, asshole.
By the way, Fusayoshi-kun, you said we would win, at worst, the day after tomorrow. You think it's possible to win tomorrow, then?
As everyone worked and I had nothing to do, Kinosuke, who wasn't too involved in the work, whispered that to me. Yes, I do. I didn't know if everyone else believed me, but I did feel like I was close to the conclusion.
You cannot tell me why, I assume.
No, not yet. I couldn't let anyone find out that Mako was the spider. Murder! Correct! 2 people died. It's not fun. And a little girl is the spider, which means that this small child... So, I'm remembering more now. Mako is the spider, and the spider is the one that has the ability to protect people each night, and Rikako has been encouraging her to do that, because Rikako found out somehow. And so... But a bunch of votes were being turned around toward Mako and Rikako last time, and so Haruaki basically tried everything he could to redirect it away from Rikako so that we wouldn't lose the guide for the spider, because the spider can't pick for herself because she's 3.
She's like 6.
Yeah.
Yes,
He's
6.
kind of stupid either way.
Yeah.
Regardless, she's baby.
Yeah, she is baby. That was how complicated my current position. Did I read the previous line? I thought I did. I don't know. In fact, if I tried to survive after someone found out what she was, and that I prioritized my own survival over hers, I would be the target of everyone's scorn. That was how complicated my current position was. I'm glad that Haruaki talks so fucking much. To
Are
help
you?
us, in this particular instance, to help us remember shit, yes. Otherwise, no. Babeleye, the new pre-evolution of Sableye? I didn't know that, but that's great. I'm also, like, pretty sure that you're just joking, but Babeleye is a very cute name. I'm gonna design that.
Why babe lie? Why not babe true?
I mean, I
Well, I
suppose if
suppose-
if any Pokemon was going to just straight up lie to you, it would probably be Sableye.
Yeah. Well, I suppose it cannot be helped. That aside, you seem to be getting close to Rikiko Uematsu-san.
Oh, that's right. We have
What?
to talk about
No, what
We
makes
have-
you say that?
We have to talk about this then, don't we? Well, I knew he'd be curious about that. Incidentally, Rikako-san had insisted on going with Takumi-san and the others to mourn the ones lost. We decided that it wouldn't be bad to get together if we both survived the mists.
I see.
What was I supposed to say here? Rikako Uematsu-san is important to you as more than just a fellow village head? Just so you know, it's not all set in stone yet. Why not tell her how you feel?
Oh, that wouldn't do. I'm just clinging to the past.
Oh, is she your ex or something?
Hardly. Though it's just the spider's family, she is still the head. A second son like myself is a poor match for her.
And I'm a nobody. Going by that logic, we're worlds apart.
I would like to say that's true, but this is a time when the feelings of both parties are important. At least outside this village. Is that not important most times?
Yeah, there's a lot. There have been a lot of times where what the woman thinks doesn't matter.
Well, yeah, but this game is set in the modern day.
Yeah, but it's also a very traditional village, I suppose.
Exactly.
I don't know. Either way, this is some of the most sympathetic that Nosato has been all game.
Whoa.
Oh god. Oh god.
Oh,
Clue.
man. I saw the square go very red. Not that it matters much for this game. But, did stream die? I would be surprised
No,
if
you
it
just
didn't.
roboted super bad.
Oh, great. Well, the square is very red, so I imagine stream is just dead.
Oh, I forgot I'm not looking at the screen, I'm looking at Discord.
Fair enough.
Does seem to be buffering.
Oh,
The
boy.
stream you're viewing currently has reduced video or audio quality. This may be due to network conditions.
It's a series of still images. How hard is it? What the fuck? I hate streaming PC games so much. I hate the actual tech of streaming so much. Just end me. All right. Oh, yellow square. Yellow square. Square is yellow. Okay. Yep. All right. Back to chopping onions ASMR.
I spent a long time outside, so I understand that all this praise and censure binding her are just relics of an age long gone. That's why I believe a man who doesn't have such bindings might be able to make her happy. After the mist came, I eventually came to think that way.
I think this is a new expression for him. He looks.
Scary.
Hmm.
I mean, he still definitely looks scary. His eyebrows are very intense and spiky, but like, it's such a warm expression compared to how he usually is.
A lot more genuine than his typical scorn.
I'm not sure what to say here. I still think that she's the one who'll have to make the final call.
That is something between just you two. I know full well that I have no say in the matter. But what she bears as the bedroom woman servant would be quite a strange and heavy burden for you.
I hate that title so much. It's awful.
It's both weirdly wordy and also yuck.
Yeah. It's got to be a translation problem where it's just like a traditional
Probably.
thing that they needed to make sure that the context of it was understood. But so it's like they couldn't just call her like servant or maid or something like that, or like servant to the house kind of thing. I don't know. It's a very specific cultural thing, and they just decided that a 9-syllable title was the only solution.
Only 6.
Only 6. What do you mean?
It's not really my place to say. Though I am willing to consult you about most other matters.
I'll appreciate it. He then gave me a business card. Yunosuke Nosato MD.
Awesome.
Graduated from XX University. Doctor. Wow, so he really was an elite. It wasn't for a specific job. It was just his personal info. Was he looking for a new job?
Please hire me.
I'm desperate. The reason I'm scowling is because I just did my taxes the other day. I'm broke as fuck. It had his email and phone number on it, and it felt like a relic. Oh my god. It even had a watermark. Looking at it prompted a bit of nostalgia, even. God, that reminds me, actually. We gotta pick out movies for Halloween movie night.
Ooh.
Mm.
Actually, you know what? That would be a good double feature. American Psycho and American Psycho 2. American Psycho 2 is so bad. It's so fucking funny.
I
Stop.
did not know that was a thing.
Please don't be mad with me, Bobby. Stop calling me Bobby. It's so fucking dumb. It's so dumb. Anyway. The bedroom woman servant's role, huh? Is he being considerate, or was it some sort of warning? It didn't seem like I could ask any further, especially with all the people here, so I would just take it as goodwill and move on. I didn't think much of this, but I had absolutely no idea that I would catch a glimpse of a new kind of darkness from the Uematsu family, and Fujiyoshi as a whole. The cleanup was over, and everyone returned to eat.
I imagine you are tired. Please eat as much as you want.
Thank you. Kaori-san was a good person. I didn't know everything about her,
Sometimes.
but she treated everyone with respect, keeping her relationships proper and bright. I was about to say, how long is it going to take for them to flash back to that? I knew for sure that her personality was supported by her sons. She'd arrived at Fujiyoshi, had to deal with their strange customs, lost her husband, and was sent here to Yasumizu, where she'd lived for over a decade. Her mind was actually very frail at this point, and without her sons to support her, she would easily break. However, even if it came from a strained mind and heart, goodwill was goodwill. And conscience was conscience. Not to mention that she didn't do anything bad, yet. The fact that I checked my bowl for something green despite that made me realize how ill-natured I really was. Yeah, you fucking suck, dude. Unfortunately, that was just how I was. Yeah, you fucking suck, dude. So I would at least keep up my mask and effectively give them conscience of my own kind. I sat down, put my hands together, picked up the chopsticks, and ate the rice gruel. Like always, it was simple, beastly, yet still good. I only felt that something was wrong with it a bit later. At first, I just thought I had burned my mouth or something. But suddenly I couldn't feel my mouth at all, and after an unnatural sensation that overwhelmed my tongue and cheeks, I lost my sense of direction. My body twisted, and right as a dull pain went through my head, I fell to the floor. I'm just imagining what happens when you have a character that's sitting down and then ragdolls, where they kind of like sproing outward in like a bow motion. I'm just imagining him doing that while going, like Leon in Resi 4. That reminds me. So I was in Italy. This is very relevant. I was in Italy, and one of my souvenirs that I got, because I didn't get many things for myself, I bought a leather jacket, and Italian leather is really nice. And I was looking at it, and I was comparing it in my head to the one that Leon has, and Leon's has, like, fur lining, and it's like none of those had that, and I was like, okay, I didn't really need an exact thing, but I kind of wanted something at least stylishly similar, and then I bought it. My brother and I accidentally bought the same one, just different sizes, which was very funny. And then afterward, I took another look at the jacket, and I just I had a moment where I realized, I'm like, this is a lot more Haruaki than it is Leon, which is unfortunate.
Oh no.
Yeah, much more piss man than Leon. Although I could probably wear the exact same outfit and people would look and be like, oh, it's Leon. And I'm like, yeah, that's the Leon outfit that I'm wearing for Halloween. I'd been poisoned. I could understand that clearly, but all my processing power went into dealing with the unnatural feeling attacking my body. I couldn't see properly. I couldn't breathe or speak. Despite that, I still had a burning pain in my mouth and an urge to vomit, along with unbearable agony. I couldn't understand what was happening around me. It was probably pure chaos, but I was struggling to even breathe, and it was only getting worse. A sudden, intense impact hit my back. My body jumped, and then I puked. I'm going to guess Nosato?
Usaishi! Usaishi!
My breathing stabilized for a moment. I could hear a voice, as well as see something, a wet floor in my own hands. However, the nausea didn't end. The spasms made me feel like my chest was turning inside out, and I soon puked again. I was right. I'm gonna guess this is, Kaori?
Kyo, what is this? What? Right after he ate it? The only thing
no, I
that
think this
potent is
one's-
wolfsbane.
I think this one's Kyo.
that makes more sense as like a immediate response follow up to the previous statement. But it doesn't matter. It's a question mark. Anyone else eat it?
I'm gonna say this is one of Dubby's characters.
Hmm.
Pick
Give
one.
a shit.
Which one?
Actually, Quark, read this line for us. Could you?
I did. Most of us did, actually.
Oribe, you.
That's
Does
you,
this
Close.
game has voice acting?
It does.
It does, but I disabled
Is
it.
there any particular reason we don't have it on so we can tell who's talking and voice over it?
Wouldn't
Because it's
recognize the voices anyway.
No, we
Okay,
haven't
good
had the
job,
voices on the whole
guys.
game. I'm so tired. Hey, Duck, how's it going? We got poison. It wasn't me.
Oribe is Kaori, isn't that?
Oribe is Kaori, yes.
Let's just do a bunch of silly voices.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter who's talking.
Yeah. We gotta make him puke it out. Do you have a rubber hose?
Hose!
To clean out his stomach. I've never done it myself, but I have no choice. Connect it to the tap. Hurry.
I couldn't understand what they were talking about or who the fuck was in this room. I'm just gonna chalk this up to a hallucination. My burning throat was a clear message that this was lethal. Haruaki-san hanging. We gotta give him CPR or something.
We do,
We
but
do, but
only
only
after we clean out his stomach.
Oh,
Clear the
good
path.
doctor's
Boil
note.
some water.
Someone was treating me somehow. I could tell that much, but I also knew it was too late. I was strangely calm about it, too. It's almost like I've died like 9 times before. So this was the end, huh? Like I figured, making it to the end as the snake was pretty difficult. What about next time, then? What was I supposed to do to move forward? Ugh, shit. I wanted to bring as many memories as possible to the next time around. I wanted to hear what they were saying, memorize it, and analyze it properly on the next loop. That was unlikely, though. All my memories of my final moments so far were pretty vague. I was fated to never die, yet to die many times. It was a really interesting thing to think about, but not even those who returned seemed to be given the key to the mysteries of the final moments.
No, his heart is.
How do no?
What the fuck? Who are these people? Even the pain was becoming dull. My mind was on the verge of fading, as evidenced by the fucking auditory hallucinations of Arnold Schwarzenegger. Oh, I know who this one.
Everyone, please we.
This is specifically Rikako, but I like your
Oh,
voice for it better. No, unfortunately, I know what I know why it is Rikako, which we'll get to it eventually. But anyway,
Oh boy.
Rikalicious.
yeah, that's the line. Thank you, Quark.
I will take in his poison.
This
We are off
sounds.
to a fantastic start of the stream.
Everyone suddenly fell silent, and I thought this was because my senses were fading. However, it was actually the opposite. My senses were absurdly clear, considering the situation. This could have been a pre-death lull, or perhaps some sort of delusion. I would have preferred to die while paralyzed, though. Clearly feeling the pain of death wasn't exactly a good time. That was a weird statement to make, but the absurdity was lost on me. Suddenly, I felt the light past my eyelids grow weaker. Once it was almost completely dark, I realized it was because the windows were closed. I slowly opened my eyes. Alright, I'm gonna preemptively, like, hang on, what's a
Oh.
good graphic to...
Oh no.
No, that's not what that is. That's Burger Time.
Yo.
Yeah. What is the green screen image currently set to? No, not that. Alright, yeah, you know what? I'll just do this. The shark. Alright.
Ah!
I slowly opened my eyes. I
There
couldn't
was
see
a fucking
clearly.
shark.
There was a Hang on, I got a really dumb idea. Let's do this.
Oh
Let's
no.
do no shark, unlock shark, and no, not that. Not like that. Like this. There we go. It's extremely stupid. I like this. Alright. Shark goes away. I couldn't see clearly, but only because of the dim lighting in the shut dining hall. I moved my head, but it felt really heavy. My heart had almost stopped pumping blood. My pulse was dull and weak. Bro, you're fucking dying. Quit yapping. I was certain I would die soon, but then I felt Rikako-san approach me. Her expression wasn't clear to me, but her breathing was strangely loud. She was panting, but trying to endure it. I thought that because of the slight quivering in each of her breaths. After wiping her mouth, she brought her body close to mine. Yeah, this is really
Oh.
fucking awkward. Yeah, I'm gonna engage.
Fucking go!
I'm gonna just engage the shark vision for this. Just because it's kind of awkward. This is mostly for the stream's benefit. My co-hosts still have to read the regular text, though. No. She actually straddled me. Though she was in a position where she could look down on me, she looked at me with upturned eyes. That, in addition to her bashful expression, made it clear that she was about to do something sinful. She stopped
God.
hiding the intensity of her breathing. Her small tongue, wet with saliva, was peeking through her mouth, and it was extremely lustful. I could feel her warmth on my abdomen. With her every breath, I felt... I'm gonna just stop reading this out loud, by the way. I'm, like, actually going to stop reading this out loud, because this is fucking cringe.
The man within.
The man within me.
Just read this. See, hearing the out of
I
context
love
phrases is worse.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that one is actually Rikako, but I like Quark's voice for Rikako. Correct!
Yeah, correct.
A refined, traditional woman. A woman that appeared younger than she was. A clumsy woman with some unfortunate tendencies. A mysterious woman. A woman that apparently
freak.
transformed into a shark. None of that was there. She was now a
Dude, we're
freak.
shark.
Bewitching.
Now, a shark.
Overpowering.
Lustful.
A shark. The enchanting, mature lady squirmed as if suffocating in her familiar black clothing. I'm not reading this out loud again.
Oh God.
Your fingers are cold, girlie.
Due to her shark-like nature.
Due to her her cold-blooded nature. She then reached her, yep, yep,
Oh.
Yeah, so now,
this is
now's the part
not
where we talk about
great.
bedroom woman servants. No, I hate this. Like, in case that wasn't clear, as a narrative thing, it's also just really fucking stupid.
Feels pretty contrived.
Oh, he's a
hey,
gentleman.
fighting
He's gonna,
back.
yep. She transformed back from a shark into a faint light. It was a feeble gesture, but enough to get the message across.
I don't have a Quark keep doing it, or should it go back to me?
No, yeah, until this scene is over, this is gonna be Quark.
Okay.
Fantastic.
Because I don't like this scene. Her whisper told me that she understood me, but was somewhat indifferent about it. What the fuck?
Very well.
She moved and backed away to the side. As her warmth faded, the coldness from the impending death came back.
This might hurt a bit, but
Like a cartoon chomping sound effect. She then smiled and took something out of her sleeve.
what?
An ice pick? She's gonna fucking lobotomize me! It seemed like a Japanese-made awl. Upon seeing it, I couldn't understand anything anymore. Was she going not lead that line? Or torture me? Kill me? I couldn't understand, but it appeared that my resistance from a moment ago left me completely powerless and unwilling to do anything.
You can
my-
do some real freaky shit with an ice pick.
As my vision grew dim, so did my senses. But then I felt a pain in my left shoulder. Had she pierced me with the awl? That was the last thing I thought and felt before losing consciousness. My eyes opened and I sat up. This girl was carrying around a potentially... What is an awl, by the way? Is it like a surgical thing?
Like a screwdriver, kind of.
I'm just imagining her, like, Agent 47 just throwing it across the room and nailing someone in the head with it and killing them instantly. My eyes opened and I sat
They're
up.
not very big. They fit in your hand.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, it's a small I pick needle type thing with a very large handle.
Oh, yeah, no, I've seen these before.
Haruaki-san!
Chiemi was right next to me for some reason. She was holding my hand, crying her eyes out.
I'm so glad you're alive.
And she rested her forehead on the back of my hand and began crying even more fiercely. I looked around. This was the dining hall. Everyone else was here too, but they all wore conflicted expressions. Chiemi was the only one openly expressing how they felt. What happened? I actually had no idea for a moment, but then... Yep, thank you for the image. I don't need that.
Shark.
Right. The shark woman. I almost died. What saved me, though? I'm not reading that. Fucking whatever. This is shameless. We're in visual novel territory. This shit is schlocky as fuck. And why did I feel so good? It was like I had had a full night's sleep. Hard to believe I was just on the brink of death. Sorry, Chimi-chan. Can you,
Yeah, sorry.
I know that it's a small thing, but I appreciate when the game, like, places the sprites closer to the screen versus further away to imply how close they are, and how close she was when she, like, you know, was when we were waking up. It implies that she... It's just a little thing. I like when games like this do that. It's fine. What happened?
You've been asleep for about 5 hours. It's dark outside now, but not much has changed.
Nosuso-san, what happened to me?
We're attacked by a shark.
Aconite poisoning. Also known as shark blood.
Oh no!
Symptoms were so bad that it should have been impossible for you to survive. But for some reason, you're alive. I believe I must congratulate you.
Nice, bro! High five. No. His tone seemed to be somewhat sarcastic, but he was probably just hiding how suspicious and uneasy he felt. He was eyeing Rikako-san, who was standing near the window, looking down and comforting Mako. He wasn't the only one. She was the center of attention here. Wonder, disbelief, reverence, worship. Hey, Mochi.
Prayers really do work, huh?
Had little doubt that was what he actually thought. Do they? I don't remember much, but thank you, Rikako-san. Why is she wearing white now? This is fucking weird.
White woman.
White woman jump scare. 2!
I simply fulfilled my role as an Oimatsu.
It's fine. All that matters is he's alive.
I didn't agree there. I feel like I would like to know if I had been molested, but, you know, being saved by some religious rite was just as ridiculous as this death loop I was trapped in. You can stop showing that!
Stop, please.
Prayers? Religious rites? Did that experience really qualify? I reached for my shoulder and felt fresh bandages. Cotton was bloody, meaning she really had stabbed me. That much was real. Did she suck out the poison? She sucked something out, alright! I'm gonna shoot myself. That couldn't be it. I wasn't bitten by a snake. I was bitten by a shark. I'd ingested aconite poisoning. You couldn't just suck that out of the bloodstream.
Worked if it's not the first time.
She had said that, right? Take in my poison?
Yes, because taking in the corruption is one of the Oimatsu's roles. That perhaps my role here is to take in the hatred of everyone present.
The role of the Uematsu.
What she bears as a bedroom woman servant will be quite a strange and heavy burden for you. The spider are bedroom woman servants.
Yes, we get it. Thank you.
That was why the Oimatsu of old had the role of protecting the dreams of the villagers. Yes, the Oimatsu were also responsible for funeral rites. Our faith might have some roots in Buddhism as a result of that duty.
Huh. So that was how it was. Huh. I said
matter
it
of fact.
Aha! I understand everything now.
doesn't understand.
So that's
Understand
how it is.
Yeah, it really is just that fucking moment from Pop Team Epic. It's just that. I understood now. No, you don't, bro. And I also understood how frightening the Uematsu were. However, there was something more important to worry about. Fusaishi almost died, and Uematsu saved him.
Could be an act. A reasonable thing to suspect, but if he really can make an act of stopping his own heart, he should make a living out of that stunt. Chikamoto, you saw him, right? Those were real symptoms.
Yeah, eating wolfbane is no joke. And reach out and ending up like that isn't a joke either.
Since I'm tired of voicing so many characters and I want Quark to do some voicing, Quark, do you want to take Yasunaga from me?
Sir, which one is that?
The glasses
This
boy on
guy,
the left.
Okay.
You actually voiced
Stop
him in your
it.
first stream too.
Yeah, that's what part of the reason. Yeah, I just realized that her black clothes were gone.
Yeah, white is Buddhist funeral clothes.
Old man.
Fusaishi and Uematsu are humans. So,
Wait, it wasn't Mom!
That's the
remember
voice.
when
There it was. I think that I'm pretty sure that was it. Yeah.
That was in fact the voice.
Yeah. And if you think this voice is annoying, I don't think Yasunaga's very long for this loop. I think he's gonna die soon. Everyone was here, but Kaori-san alone seemed to be in a different position. She was deep in the room, sitting, probably forcefully, on a chair with a pale face. I wasn't the only one who ate the rice gruel, right, Yasunaga-kun?
Yes, no one ate any more after you were poisoned, but there was probably none of it in the pot. I believe the bowl you ate from had poison applied to it.
It's just that one thing of, from the little salt meme with the dude in it, but it's Agent 47 just dropping fucking rat poison into whatever it is.
Or someone's poured into the food after taking it from the pot.
No! I didn't do it!
Oribe-san, I'm not accusing you. I'm simply saying that it's fair to consider you the prime suspect. We can't absolve you of responsibility because we haven't formed a counter-argument yet. That's it.
I understand. I was the only one at the counter then, but it wasn't me.
The bowls were on that shelf. No one was watching it, so it could have been anyone.
That's the wrong way to look at it, Yasunaga Oribe-kun. Everyone could see
So
it.
why are you full naming me?
Because he's trying to make a point.
Everyone could see it, so if something strange happened, someone would have noticed. Also, you were the one who brought the balls out to be used. Are you saying you are the culprit?
No, I had no reason to do that.
True. It's not like there were names on the bowls. The only time you could target him specifically was while the food was being served.
I know, but think about it. Mom would have been the first suspect, even if Fusaishi-san wasn't the one poisoned. What would be the point of her killing someone in that situation?
Yasunaga-kun, I hate to say this, but
She may have wanted to take out the snake, even if it meant dying in the process. Takumi-san joined the exchange. Kyo's right. Logically speaking, you're the most suspicious one here, Kaori-san. That's what everyone thinks. Not just Kyo. Even I'm starting to suspect you a little. No!
Takumi-san, you too?
No, not my OTP that I'm very invested in. I mostly just want Takumi to have nice things. Takumi is built like a brick shit house. I can't let Kyo get all the hate here.
unlike you.
But personally, I do trust Kaori-san.
Of course you do.
What's your reason?
If she had to kill someone to protect Yoshitsugu, she'd kill everyone, not just Fusaishi. She wouldn't make any excuses for it either. You're a scary mom with serious guts. I mean, he's right. Yeah. Yeah, he was right. She basically did exactly that. Thank you. Thank you, Haruaki. I can tell. He was completely right about her. Thank you, Haruaki. Very cool. Takumi-san knew her so well and still fell for her, huh? He was serious about her. Man just loves MILFs.
Good for him.
It made me want to cheer him on. In that case, I had to make it through the night. I'll trust you too, Kaori-san.
Fusaishi-san.
Do you have a reason?
Well, the circumstantial evidence might not be in her favor, but it's canceled out by her nature as a person. Also, I want to trust Takumi-san's analysis. He believed in me, after all. Thanks.
What do you say? We can't hang any more today. Worry about it tomorrow.
Good point. Anyway, it's late. Let's go to bed. Yeah, that's Parks.
Yeah.
Mom, I'll help clean up.
I'll do it too. I'll use the stuff here.
Thank you, you too.
We left the family of three and went outside.
Hey, Gee, where's my gun?
Yeah, so yeah, something bad's gonna happen tonight, methinks. It's fine.
Don't say.
He's better now.
Actually, found it.
If there was one person I trust less with the gun, it would be Mochi right now. To my surprise, the hunting rifle was placed against the dining hall's wall, but
Where are the bolts?
I threw them into the mist.
Kanzo-san grunted in displeasure, snatched the gun from Mochi, and went off into the mist.
Man, I'm no good.
She chuckled emptily. There were still dried lines of tears down her cheeks. It's fine. We had to take it apart, and if it went completely missing, we'd have assumed you took it with you.
Me? Oh, as a weapon.
Yeah. Wouldn't want to draw suspicion, right?
Man, this is such a pain. I'm tired of walking on eggshells. Can't the mist just go away already?
He is tall, feet tall.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
is.
That sounds about right.
I'm gonna say he's. I'm just gonna guess and say he's like 6'4".
I was gonna say the same thing, actually. Don't worry.
Hashimoto, meanwhile, is 6'5".
Yeah, Hashimoto is somehow larger because the only thing that we are allowed to know about him, because he keeps fucking dying so early on, is that he is very, very, very large.
Yeah. Don't worry. Everything will come to an end tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm going then. Good night. As he left, Takumi-san lightly tapped my shoulder. Kyo said your recovery was a miracle. Don't waste it. He gave my shoulder a firm
Okay.
squeeze and cracked it because he's fucking huge, and then left. Of course.
Hopefully not the wounded one.
He just squeezes the fucking ice pick wound. Of course. I would do whatever I could to survive. I'm going to. Mako!
Besides, Fusuyuki-san, good night.
Not what I'm called! Do
Haruaki-san, be careful.
you think Eggman's explosives are called eggshells? That's really good, Dachi. Yeah. Good night. Rikako-san didn't speak or even look at me until the very end. I crossed my legs and sat down on my futon. I wasn't tense anymore, probably because I was used to it, or because I wouldn't die tomorrow. I just didn't feel like sleeping, though. I actually felt really good. Why had I survived? Was it really aconite? Even I'd heard that real aconite poisoning was lethal. What if it was actually some weird poison that just made it seem like you were dying, then fully recovered afterwards? Like Romeo and Juliet, I guess. That kind of trick would be kicked out of the Rookie of the Year Mystery Novel Award in the prep reading. Yeah, you'd know about that, wouldn't you?
The wrong way to look at it, Yasunori Rebekun. Everyone could see it, so if something strange happened, everyone would have noticed.
Quack.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, you're good.
What would be the point of killing someone in that situation? You already heard me say this like 10 minutes ago.
I could relate to them both. Kinosuke was right that was unlikely to be pure coincidence, and Yasunaga-kun was right that it was an unlikely risk to take for someone who didn't need to. All this thinking about who done it and why all this thinking about who done it and why made me feel like I was in some mystery novel. Really? Though, since I could easily dispel all the suspicions on Kaori-san, I could more or less see how it was. The very premise was wrong, so I knew exactly what I had to do today. I took out my notepad, wrote down the name Yoshitsugu Oribe, and put it near my pillow. Suddenly, there was a knock on my door. I quickly became tense again. A visitor? Now? Right after I almost died? I'd decide what to do after seeing their face. But then I realized
I
this
am
hut didn't
getting
have
killed.
But then I realized this hut didn't have any way for me to look outside the door. However, there were spaces between the boards of the door, most likely warped by changes in humidity. I peeked outside through them. Jimmy? Another knock. Who is it? I went ahead and asked. Yep.
It's me, Chiemi Serizawa.
What is it?
I want to ask something.
Well, ask away. Shouldn't you be sheltering right now? It's dangerous outside, isn't it? Sure you should be here?
I'm okay. There's still people walking around. Can we talk? I don't mind if it's through the door.
Sure?
I realized that I can't do anything. I'm a huge failure. I've been causing trouble for everyone here ever since I was little. That's why I studied hard, entered a college, and went outside the village. Did you know that the only way people from Yasumizu can leave is either going to college or finding work somewhere else?
I didn't, actually. You have people who work away from home?
Yeah, Takamine-chan left once. His mom and dad are outside too.
News to me.
Yeah, his dad is sickly, so he goes outside every now and again.
Then why is he here?
The feast 8 years ago killed a lot of people, and he returned to help clean up, but people that were still alive weren't enough for Yasumizu to function. Taiba-chan depended on him too, so he,
I see. That's why Takumi-san didn't know about the last feast. The rest were in Kami Fujiyoshi. God. The rest were in Kami Fujiyoshi, right?
Yeah.
So no one besides Kanzo-san and the old wolf guy were here.
Oh yeah, Haru-chan.
Hmm?
Haru-chan was so lonely at night that she left the school we were staying at all by herself. Then she went through the mountain path and...
Huh? She was in Yasumizu too?
I don't know. The adults said they found her in front of Yasumizu, and there were rumors she saw something there. I don't know if that's the reason why, but she started acting weird afterward. People said she was possessed by a wolf.
Came as no surprise, but Jimmy still had info that I didn't know of. Had Haru-chan caught a glimpse of the feast? But that would mean she too survived the feast of the Omi Purge. As things were, there was no way to leave Yasumizu when it was engulfed by the mist. I didn't know if you could enter it, but it was natural to think you couldn't leave after doing so. Thinking rationally, she shouldn't have made it to Yasumizu in the first place. But her possession... If she'd seen something in the mist without ever making it to Yasumizu, could she have become afflicted with some trauma or something divine because of it?
I see. So you rose. You tried again several times, have you not?
Still one of the fucking scariest moments of this whole game is just like, yeah. If I wanted to find out more about her, it was too late for that this time. I could have been wrong, of course. There was probably a lot more info for me to find, not to mention I couldn't go back unless I died. Also, I'd decided to save the humans, so I would see it through to the end. Of course, that included her. Sorry. Anyway, why do you think you're useless?
I mean, I can't vote right, nor can I think like Yasukun or Takamine-chan. Yasukun and even Nosato-san are doing whatever they can.
If you ask me, you're the reason why no one crossed certain mental lines.
What do you mean?
We grew accustomed to killing and unfairly punishing each other. In a way, we're already insane. Yeah, that's one of the things about this game is that's kind of one of the through lines, and it feels like it flip-flops a lot, but in a way, in the context of the feasts themselves, it's usually handled pretty clearly, but sometimes when the game just points it out, it's a little bit I don't know. This is one of the parts of the game where I'm feeling less charitable because of the preceding scene, and also immediately after the scene of Haruaki fucking a different girl, they have a scene where it's Chiemi and Haruaki growing closer together, and so it's like, well, I already know Haruaki's not gonna choose Chiemi, and also she might be a murderer, so, you know, that's great.
Yeah, but who is it really?
True. If we loop through enough times, God, I hope we don't have to go through enough times that everyone gets a chance at it. That would take so fucking
I want to see
long.
Mako do murders.
Mako will do murders regardless
Baby
of what
murder.
timeline. Still, we'd surely regret it if we killed people purely for revenge, and we were absolutely in danger of doing that. And I kind of think that you've been racking your brain trying to avoid that at all costs. That's how it seems to me, anyway. Did I miss the mark? Sorry, I don't mean to act like I know everything about you. I'm just saying that people have what they're good at and bad at, and I think that you're a valuable asset in your own...
Haruaki-san!
What? All of a sudden her voice cracked briefly, weighed down with sorrow.
Why are you so nice? I'm useless. Even when you collapsed, all I could do was cry. Just say it. Tell me that I'm in your way and that I should die.
Why would I say something I don't mean? It wouldn't help anyone. Why would I say something I don't mean? Bro, you're in a game of lying. Anyway.
Say it. Can't hate you if you don't. I love you, Haruaki-san. Can't bear it anymore.
This wasn't an admission of love. It was an SOS, if not a plea for death. Do you hate your home?
I do.
Everyone here, too?
Hate them so much.
As if that's true.
There's no place for me here.
In the end, she was someone who'd abandoned Yasumizu. Even if there was space for her to live, she just couldn't adjust to this way of life, and her thinking was no longer that of a Yasumizu inhabitant. However, moving away didn't solve all her problems either. She saw a glimmer of hope in her homeland and returned here. Or so I assumed. But she didn't get what she wanted, and suffered in vain, and to top it all off, she was caught up in the feast. It must have been incredibly painful, so that was why she'd treated me so nicely when we first met. There must have been a profound emptiness in her heart. But I couldn't return those feelings during this loop. Yeah, because the narrative has decided that you're not going to. Great. I'd already accepted someone else.
I get it. Rikako-san is cute, isn't she? I had no idea she had superpowers too, though.
But she has some kind of powers, alright. Superpowers?
She took away your poison. That's why you survived.
She turned into a shark. That's why you survived.
It's amazing. I don't stand a chance against that.
You're charming too, you know.
Then go out with me.
That's rather forward of you.
Play with me. Hold my hand. Take me on a bike ride far away. Let me spend all day sleeping in your arms. Open this door.
I could do that. But that would be an empty gesture. Being granted false hope only led to greater despair. So, I didn't open the door. At least he's not leading her on.
Yeah.
I couldn't. The one good thing Haruaki has done in this stream.
Break a girl's heart.
I'm...
Liar.
I lied?
Not blatantly, maybe. You let me get my hopes up, then just left me hanging? And now you say you didn't lie? How mean. So cruel. Unfair. I'm just awful.
I might have underestimated some things here. Bro! What? Oh! Ooh! Ooh, I'm gonna fucking strangle you, bro. Trying to save someone you'd given up on was just naive hypocrisy. In the end, you need to be prepared to never see them again. But that only works when you'd been physically separated. I was probably the only refuge she had left. But in this mist, there was nowhere for her to hide. Excuse me. She could only attack herself in a roundabout manner by criticizing me. And
I want you to reject me properly.
no matter what happened here, it wouldn't end well. Worst case scenario, she could disappear into the mist again. Could I really write it off as simply drama between a man and a woman? But I'd already decided. The moment I opened my mouth. Ah!
Uh-oh.
What are you doing here, Serizawa-sama?
Rikako-san's voice. The girls are fighting! Sorry, I'm allergic to terrible writing.
It's nothing. I'm just being pathetic.
Night is for sheltering. And as the snake Fusaisha-sama is in Fusaisha? Fusaisha-sama is in danger. Should you not be more considerate?
Bro, it's been established that you have to walk to get, like, way out of your way to get to this little shack that I'm staying in. What are you doing here? Girl, what were you doing at the witch's feast?
Witchcraft?
You're
the
walking
dark?
around too.
I mean, she is probably the most reasonable one to be up at the witch's feast. Or the witch's coven, or whatever the meme is. You know the one.
Yeah. As a Noimatsu, I must perform what nightly patrols I can.
You're full of shit. You're full of shit, girly.
It's just an excuse. Someone will die regardless. And what could you do if something did happen anyway? Even you could be a wolf, right?
Stop it, Jimmy-chan.
The head of the Uematsu family. A beauty. A woman of character. You're not very popular in Yasumizu, but everyone here thinks you're a good person. In Kami Fujiyoshi, you're actually respected and revered. You have a place to return to. But none of that matters, does it?
Jimmy!
Don't say my name! Rikako-san might be a wolf. She might be a terrible person. This might all be an act.
I am human.
Mm-hmm.
Anyone can say that. What matters is whether you can get someone to believe you. And you used superpowers. Of course everyone will believe you. Of course he'll love you. I don't stand a chance against that. You have everything I don't have. You even took Haruaki-san. That's just too cruel and unfair.
She didn't want to hurt Rikako-san. She only wanted to hurt herself. But as one who could do nothing but hurt her, I couldn't say anything.
You are misunderstanding me.
How?
Haruaki-sama simply gave me hope.
Shit, sorry.
He merely lended his chest to me. In fact, he refused my indecent request. Even as he was dying, he clearly rejected me. There is nothing between us, and never will be.
We have nothing to discuss.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
You're lying. You're just playing it off.
Rather, I am the one who has nothing. I am a hollow woman, possessing only the Uematsu family's crest, history, and faith. I do not have a place of my own, either. I do not even have the power to cling to salvation.
I'm going to hell.
My entire body and mind was sold off to Shinai-sama.
This is a pretty... I have mixed feelings about this scene, because I hate that Haruaki did what he did, but I think that Chiemi's writing in this sequence is really good. But, like...
As per usual.
Yeah. But, like, this particular This scene loses a little bit of its gravitas when you remember that Haruaki is just staring at a door and not seeing anything, and then another person
Right.
walked up to Chiemi outside.
What do you mean?
Once the mist clears, I intend to finish my business here. Hand Mako to the police. Let the flow take me away from here, and accept where I end up. But you're different. Once the mist clears, Yasumizu will surely accept you. Your cheerfulness, strength, and consideration gives everyone hope. This is where you belong, and I have no such place. And Usaishi-sama belongs elsewhere. As those born in Fujiyoshi, we cannot dream of spending our lives with him. Let us go back. I will take you to your room.
No, I don't get you at all. It's not that complicated. If you love each other, then date and do whatever you want.
I cannot do that anymore.
Why?
She's right. Yeah. Rikuko-san had my thanks. She gave me the best way to deal with this. She gave me an out. How sweet of her.
Usaishi-sama.
I want to ask the head of the Uematsu something about the feast and Fujiyoshi. However, I won't open the door. Chiemi-chan, you can go now.
No way.
If you don't believe that much, we wouldn't have worked out anyway.
And I'll stay here.
What would you think if someone sat in and listened as you went over your history with men?
Alright, I'm going.
I had no idea she really understood. Or understood it the way I intended. But she could probably tell that we were about to speak about something unpleasant. I have the shark on speed dial, don't worry.
Haruaki-san, once the mist clears, do what you have to and do it right.
Backing down was part of a proper breakup.
Good night.
I could hear her walk off. Then, nothing. Uematsu-san?
Let me apologize for one thing.
Yes?
I showed you something unsightly earlier.
Don't be so self-deprecating. If we weren't in this situation, if we weren't in this situation, I'd have
Come
actually
on.
loved that.
Please, don't say that.
Yeah, don't say that. Stop
I mean,
speaking.
like, yeah, he probably would have been into it if he weren't actively dying at
yeah.
the time. Like,
Yeah.
come on.
Yeah, no, it's absolutely true, but, like, fuck, I hate him. Sucks. Made the mood less tense, but it wasn't quite enough. I think he mostly meant it as a joke, just to ease her a little bit, but still, he probably genuinely believes it, too. Ugh. Then I'll just ask, was that an act or something?
Mm.
Or a mask you wore when you had to fulfill your role as Uematsu? I could hear her gasp.
You knew.
That response proved my assumption was correct. The bedroom woman servant. Really just a phenomenal name. Really great. I should have questioned the lewdness, the derogatory nature of that term a bit earlier. Yeah, Uematsu were the Fujiyoshi head family in charge of the night. including the secret matters related to it. They weren't just the night watch and people in charge of funerals. They also handled the nightly affairs of men and women. That meant they were Fujiyoshi's local sexual service providers. As the head of the family, Rikuko-san obviously knew how to handle such things. If I had to guess, all the Uematsu girls were given such a role. Also, I imagined that taking in the poison and corruption was closely related to bodily intimacy. I didn't know much about historic Japan's ideas of medicine, but I knew about the Chinese idea that lovemaking and health were closely tied together. Well, even if it wasn't something like that, knowing the human body, they could have easily formed the logic that it released negative energy. Yeah, so does jacking it. You don't need to hire a girl for that. Spiders ate their prey by melting their insides and sucking them out. And boy, wasn't that fitting. There was also the Jorogumo, the orb-weaving spiders, who shared their name with a yokai that was linked to many lustful stories. Does it? Does it?
Yes.
That's one of those things where it's like, I believe that, but I'm gonna have to do a lot more research on it because this game is, like, incredibly steeped in Japanese culture. Wow, shocker.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's a thing.
Yeah.
Even from just the little bit I've osmosed from anime.
In the West, the female spiders that ate their males were called widows, and the black widow was extremely poisonous. Unnerving, elegant, and sexy at the same time, spiders were unique Let's reword this a little bit and make sure that we're on the same page of what Haruaki is saying here. Spiders were unique creatures that created webs that they used to catch their prey and consumed them by melting them with poison. They were unnerving, elegant, and sexy at the same time. Haruaki likes Haruaki.
I like a woman who can kick my ass.
Yeah.
I don't see why that's such a big thing
Yeah,
you're
this-
getting stuck on.
No, I just
how
think
many
it's,
fucking
like,
spider
honestly-
themed?
no.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
just
there's not all that out there. Blue.
no, it's not. I'm just laughing at it because it's just this is very in line with him. God, he would have loved Spider-Man Turn Off the Dark. Fucking Ariadne. Get me the shoes! I could understand why equating them with evil women and enchanting ladies was so universal. He probably also would have been into Carla Radames in Resident Evil 6 for reasons that he couldn't place. And just now, I practically asked her if she was that. I was more or less right. Yeah, the girl that you met in this village like 3 days ago and has been very, generally warming up to you pretty quickly. Hey, are you a whore?
Well, not
Fujiyoshi
really
was
3
once.
days ago. It was yesterday a couple times.
Yeah, a couple times. Yesterday, a couple times. Fujiyoshi was once a place where hunters thrived, attracting many outsiders, a lot of whom were rowdy. To keep them from going after the local women, Fujiyoshi had to train specialists with the right set of skills. The Uematsu gained influence by placing their own relatives in that role. Also, prior to that, the Uematsu had some religious significance, turning their monopolization of sex into a sanctified act. Their influence must have spread to birth and child-rearing as well, and the yoke of tradition made them very powerful. The Uematsu successfully gained control of the darkness most living people encountered by donning the filthy title of bedroom women servants and facing that darkness head-on. The Miguruma controlled the public side of faith and politics, and the Higuchi handled food and smithing, new info, while the Nosato handled medicine, among other I just kind of wish it just played like a little Phoenix Wright
Mystery
thing there.
update.
Yeah. I'd wondered where the Uematsu came in, and now it all made sense. So this is something that I don't enjoy as a plot point, but I do find very interesting. There's a very depressing documentary called Whore's Glory that takes a look at sex workers around the globe, and some of them kind of, like, amongst each other, the women kind of revere, like, they support each other, and I believe it's the one in Hong Kong, I don't know, but it's but like they kind of cheer each other on, and they kind of treat it as a very I don't know, it's a very interesting look at things, but it's also an extremely depressing documentary.
Mm-hmm. Can
But-
imagine.
As time passed and their family business ceased having a place in modern society, their influence began to decline. War, the drop in demand for hunting, and the spread of diseases from the outside had made the Uematsu lose relevance, and the final descendants of the family had neither the originality nor zeal to adapt to the times and survive.
Because of our role, we did not consider protecting the bloodline to be important.
If an,
If a Noimatsu girl gave birth, the child would be a Noimatsu, regardless of who fathered it. They would be taught the family's teachings, rites, some absurd laws, and become true Noimatsu.
So stop doing that.
The head would always be a woman, who also worked as a bedroom woman servant. And if she had a daughter, that daughter would be the new head.
So stop doing that. If you're so ashamed of your role as the family's role as just stop teaching them
I
that
think-
stuff.
Roles and being an important theme in this game, from what I've seen
Yeah.
so far.
No, I get it, but I don't
Guys, is it really easy to like throw off the yoke of tradition and religion?
know. that I mean,
Just
it's
don't.
Yeah, bro.
Just don't do it.
Yeah,
Just don't
stop.
do the thing you've been told to
Just
do your
stop.
whole life, and
Yeah.
that has
Some
been
help.
steeped in your
No.
village for like hundreds, if not thousands of years.
Yeah,
just
no.
just don't.
It's a really
it.
it's a
It's
really
that
interesting it's a really interesting theme, and I really like it, but it's just such a depressing thing to think about.
Noimatsu were bound, not by blood, but ideals. And if Fujiyoshi rejected them, we would be a hollow shell of our former selves. And it is not like any of the other three families would want to merge with us.
Every time the music fades out, I think the scene is going to change in tone, but then I realize this game just doesn't have
too.
any way to loop the fucking music.
Even though
Ironic.
it's
You
called
say you're
Raging Loop.
Raging.
Yeah,
at
I
that loop?
know. It's fucking nuts. This game also had had like no fucking budget. It's honestly insane that it has as good music as it does, or as many tracks as it does. The head of the spider's family. Oh, there it goes. The head of the spider's family, the priestess of the spider, had a dark background befitting that title, and the future was bleak for her as well. The Uematsu were an unnatural relic of the past, and by cutting them off, the other three families would be able to further modernize themselves. Despite no chance of the family recovering, Rikuko Uematsu was born into an unenviable position and grown to be another bedroom woman servant. I wasn't capable of claiming I could understand her. It wasn't an exaggeration to say we lived in different worlds. It would have been absurd to even claim I could take on her despair.
You are truly gentle.
I couldn't understand what she meant at all, so I thought about it for a few seconds before I would ask.
You heard all that, yet you did not curse me as filthy or talk me down.
I mean, I did, but that was mostly cursing the writers.
Yeah, but that's not me. It's someone else. But this gentleness hurts. If you simply cursed me, I would find it much easier to give up. I think I understand how Serizawa-sama feels now.
I like how Dachi had to clarify for a second. He was like, no, not this, okay, not Raging Loop. But thank you, that's cute. I like that. Although a Mega Mimikyu would go pretty hard. Honestly, I'm still upset that they didn't make a G-Max Mimikyu that was just a pile of plush toys. But that would also overlap with G-Max Garbodor, which is really good. Give up! Give up!
Well, guess we're giving up.
Fuck it! Congratulations.
I'm done. I've had enough.
This game fucking sucks, bro. poison after a bit of let's give up. Why did the locals think it natural to put themselves down and give up on what they wanted? Was it common for local breakups to be considered the woman's responsibility? Or were men the ones who dumped while the women simply continued pining or something? Was it a custom? All I'd say to that was eat shit. But perhaps the ones making the mistake were the ones who fell in love with girls like that.
Is that enough?
Can I ask you just one more thing?
Oh, and one more thing.
Yes.
You're a family head. Do you have anything to do with the secrets behind the feast?
No. I do not know what the Miguruma are thinking, but the bedroom woman servants must be of no value to them.
Then why were you so certain that you could let me escape? The silence wasn't too long.
I am a descendant of an old family that lived in superstition. I used my powers as such to take in your poison. I thought that perhaps I could use it to let you escape.
Like, take on the burden of our role as the snake and then just let us leave, I guess.
I'm the snake now.
Fuck
You're
you.
useless.
I mean, she certainly tried to do something to our snake.
There is nothing more to it.
That made sense. And now that she used divinity as a basis, there was no room for me to argue.
Is that enough?
Yes. Thank you. I believe you. I guess it's time to sleep. Hope we see each other again tomorrow.
You shall not die tonight. The spider, sent to us by Shinai-sama, will protect you.
She was basically saying that she would protect me. When you say that, it's strangely believable.
Huh?
Nothing. Give my regards to Mako.
Certainly. Huh? Why?
Because she still can't get my name right. I'll probably mention this again tomorrow, but if I ask you, please tell the truth. That will end this game. If you're not with us at that point, I will take Mako to the police.
Oh. Thank you. I believe you.
And that was the end of that. Still behind the door, she gave me a boring goodbye and left. Remarkably fatigued, I collapsed onto the futon. It was pretty thin, so the hard floor below hurt my shoulders, but I couldn't be bothered to even react. Did I actually just break up with 2 women in one evening? Oh, Haruaki, you fucking fumbled it, bro. It hadn't even been that long since I'd broken up with Mitsuji, and I'd already made a habit of it. Yeah, he went on this fucking bike trip to the mountains because he was on a breakup. Bro managed to break up with 3 girls, 4 if you count when Chiemi literally broke up in his arms in the first loop. That was depressing. But bro managed to fumble it with 3 girls in the span of like 5 days.
He's doing it like no one else.
Yeah, he is the fumbler. It hadn't even been that long since I'd broken up with Mitsuji, and I'd already made a habit of it. I'd gone on a trip because of a breakup, only to find more of them. If I couldn't escape, maybe I'd be happiest if I just came in through Saranaga like last time and enjoyed some time with Chiemi. Or was there a better path to take now? I couldn't tell anymore. Wolves were out and about tonight, yet here I was thinking about this stuff. Was something wrong with my head? Well, there probably was,
Probably.
but this wrongness was different. Still, I saw how things would go. There was one thing that bothered me, though. Would Rikuko-san survive? That question, no, worry, remained floating in my brain. I tried to let go of my consciousness. I believe that was the one for human. That was for Yoshitsugu.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think that's Hito.
Yeah.
Call him Wander with how much he's fumbling women live on stream. Correct. The fumbler. Oh, it's the fumbler. Nothing I woke up to came to me as a surprise. Before we keep going, what is y'all thoughts on that whole arc? Or that whole narrative arc there. What are your opinions on it? Because I think that there's a lot of
Haruaki fumbling.
not just Haruaki fumbling, but like that whole sequence, because I feel like there's a lot of interesting themes to be explored with that idea of tradition, but it feels weird, or it feels weirder when you remember Rikuko's role as this game's like sort of mascot character, waifu girl. My thoughts is that dating is cringe and contributing to the declining birth rate is epic. Based. No. But like, I don't know. There's a lot of really interesting ideas behind what it is, but it doesn't feel like a coincidence that Rikuko specifically is the kind of character that they wanted to like promote a little bit. Chiemi is the character that's like the icon, the game's icon. I don't know. There's just a lot of stuff to unpack.
I don't know if I agree with your concern there. I mean, like Riko's a significant character in the story, this one especially, and you're not gonna. If you're gonna explore a theme like that, you want to explore it with the character you spend a lot of time with, not with some rando.
Yeah, but also, I don't know. There was that one line at the beginning of the game where in the prologue before the game starts, where
Tutorial.
The tutorial thing where she was saying like, and if you beat the game without breaking the rules about spoilers, then you get to then you unlock a CG of me in a swimsuit, and she was like, oh no, that's it. Just I don't know. There's
I do not remember that at all.
Yeah, it's a very specific thing. I don't know, but like overall, I think it's a very interesting idea, and I like a lot of what goes on here. Even if I still think that it's really stupid that Haruaki is not getting with Chiemi.
I think it's stupid that he ditched her.
Yeah.
It's stupid that he ditched Rikuko. She was right on top of him. He went, no, are you stupid?
You should have just let it happen, bro.
I mean, there's a time and a place,
yeah.
dude.
At the very least...
I might be dying, but that's a cut!
Like, oh, I'm dying, but also lower.
Look,
like,
if I'm going to go out, I want to go out
but
enjoyably.
is now really the time?
Like, again, I think it's really interesting, but I don't know. This game will find a way to fuck.
What stabbing him with the all had to do with anything.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, I don't know what stabbing him had anything to stabbing with the all did.
The sex ritual was rejected. Why was the stabbing the alternative?
I assumes he just drank his blood. I don't know.
Oh, that could be it. That could be it. Yeah, good point.
Yeah, Quark, you had something else.
I assumed he started with that just because it did not involve stabbing him.
Reasonable.
Fair.
Like, I don't know. If someone came at me with a screwdriver, I think I'd be scared.
Yeah,
he was already dying.
Yeah. It can't get worse.
It can always get worse. Don't worry.
This game will find a way.
Joking aside, I am interested in this plot point. I already like Rikuko. He seems interesting to me, and I think this sort of thing, it's so hard to talk. I'm so much better at writing my thoughts out than saying them.
So hard.
If you want to just write it out,
so fucking hard.
If you want to just write it out in the
chat,
then like giving you a little bit more time to gather your thoughts. But I am really interested in seeing what your thoughts about it are.
Okay, Let me pull Twitch up so I can type it in the chat.
Nothing I woke up to came to me as a surprise. I hadn't died.
Yay!
Colonel, we've managed to avoid drowning. Great work. I'd known it'd be that way. All that remained was figuring out how to end things. I merely had to find a compromise between what was happening and what I felt. No, there were 2 more things to consider. The wolves.
Why does Twitch love to log me in?
You can just type it in Discord and I'll copy paste it.
No, it's fine. I got it.
The wolves could go out of control before the feast even began, and I didn't know who I had to mourn today. It was 5 in the morning and everything was still covered in mist. Gee, I wonder. Everything's still covered in mist. Wow. All right. I could see things better
That's
than at
crazy.
night, but not by a whole lot. Was Kanzo-san patrolling again? He was no longer like he had been yesterday morning, so I could hope that he was, but he no longer had a gun. The fact that he, a confirmed human, was patrolling like that was actually pretty good for us. It's morbid. It's always morbid to think about, but, like, having someone that is confirmed human at risk is... I don't know. I carefully took a step forward. The wolves were liable to appear from the mists at any moment, so I snuck around, just in case. However, this was a world of mist and ominous silence. As I walked, the grass swayed, and the crunching of the gravel felt loud enough to be heard by the entire village. In fact, even the sound of my heartbeat was deafening. To hell with this. I had to pull myself together. If they were coming, I surely would have heard them too. I just had to stand still to know if I was in danger. I didn't hear anything. There was no one. Or perhaps everyone was hiding. Me when I wake up first at the sleepover. As I began suspecting that a murderer was about to pop out of the nearby bushes, I stopped running. I went to the side of the road and hid myself. I carefully thought about the situation. If you looked at the feast as a game, the judges were mostly uninvolved in its progression, leaving it to the players. They only dispensed supernatural deaths to those who killed more than one, or humans who walked around at night. It was really minimal intervention. On the other hand, though, that didn't mean they would stick to the rules and keep the number of victims under 2. And so far, the sides that were cornered tried to kill people, even if it meant getting the death penalty. It happened every time. In other words, observance of the rules wasn't valued, meaning that having more deaths than allowed was not a problem. Not only were the humans unprotected, but the wolves, who saw justice in the real story, were entirely capable of disregarding the corruption to commit murder. Looking at it that way, I had no idea what the Game Master, Great Lord Shinai, was trying to accomplish. Little did I know that Great Lord Shinai has been here the whole time.
Oh,
Welcome
Yes.
to Game Changer. No. Anyway, did he just want to see bloodshed? In that case, why the roundabout method? He was the god of the... God. Dachi made a joke about it earlier, but I do have the will be right back button, but I genuinely want to try and make a roundabout button, but I can't figure out a way to get the whole screen to like suddenly go like get that like sepia thing for the stop.
Color filter over it?
Yeah, well, it's mostly just a matter of getting the actual video file because it's difficult to, I don't know. I'll figure it out one day. He was the god of the mountain. The corruption was his law. The Yomibito were the enemy, but it wasn't clear whether the ones sent to Yomi were humans or wolves. It made so little sense if the corruption... no, I totally missed that period. It made so little sense. If the corruption was the power of Yomi, it wasn't even clear where the boundary between the mountain and Yomi was. In other words, it was safe to think that the mountain and Yomi were the same thing. Shinai was both the mountain and Yomi, a two-faced god who split the Fujiyoshi people worshipping him into two opposing factions on a whim. His aim was this very bloodshed. The mist, the village, everything here was like a coliseum to him. A hunting ground, basically. Very small tangent. When I went to Rome and I was in the Colosseum, it was honestly really fucking, like, interesting. At the very, definitely interesting. I don't know if I was gonna. The initial word I was gonna say was alarming or like concerning, but like when you're in the Colosseum, it doesn't feel like you're in an ancient Roman like temple or anything like that, because obviously not. But like when you're
No,
in,
it wouldn't be.
it doesn't feel like sacred or significant in a specific way. It feels like you're in a rundown football stadium, because it's
That's basically what it
they
is.
basically perfected the stadium design with the Colosseum, but it's just really unnerving, but also interesting and comforting in a weird way that people always like seeing games, and we are always I don't know, knowing what happened there and how minorities were persecuted and, you know, killed en masse, and also all of the animal abuse that happened there is a little bit upsetting to think back on, but like it's interesting to see as the society that we have always liked big circular building with action in the middle. I had to be overthinking things. Dubby, I think you've had one line tonight that wasn't a flashback?
Yep.
Yeah, a lot of your characters are dead now, actually, now that I think about it.
Yeah. I have Mako.
However, the fact that the rules weren't strict and the punishment wasn't swift.
Oh shit, here
created an
comes
opening.
the gas station clerk.
They're probably
die. There's the sheep.
Oh yeah, that is true. Quick, Haruaki, step on a fucking nail and get tetanus. Fast-acting tetanus. There probably was a way to clear the game with minimal casualties. I had to make it through this situation, though. I made a gamble. After taking a deep breath. Yeah! I screamed at the top of my lungs, then hid. If Kanzo-san or Takumi-san heard it, they were bound to come. If it was a wolf instead, they would make a move, wondering why something serious happened without their knowing. They couldn't catch me off guard if I hid and watched from the shadows. 5 minutes passed, yet I heard nothing. That's spooky. What if everyone was already dead? That was impossible. Maybe they knew what I was thinking and were now planning to ambush me? I was just guessing, but you never knew what could happen in this mist. My next option was to sneak around and look around the whole village. I would move swiftly and in short bursts. I'd make noise for sure, but it would also make it harder for any other potential lurkers to find me. The Okiba were huge and had decent amounts of space between them, making them good hiding places. I ran and hid. Then I held my breath. Nothing was happening. Not thinking much about it, I repeated the process. I ran and hid, then stayed quiet. I ran and hid.
Oh, hi. Yoshitsugu?
I guess Discord ate that. But
Discord totally ate that, yeah.
Of course.
Yoshitsugu-kun popped out of the stone I was aiming for and charged at me. I jumped to the side. A wood-cutting axe slashed through the place I was just standing in.
That too.
I'm gonna have to mess with your noise suppression settings at some point, Dragoni. Wait, it's me! Calm down!
You fuck!
He then angrily threw the axe away in a random direction and screamed.
Fuck.
Oh god.
Turn off the CRISPR thing.
Might be a good idea.
Fuck!
Oh, there we go.
That's appropriate. No point in sneaking around anymore. That means... His reaction there implies to me that it means that he now knows who's dead, and it's either Kaori or Yasunaga. But this made me understand something. This rage could only mean one thing. Was the one who died last night.
Fuck!
After waiting for him to calm down a bit, we began walking together, no longer trying to hide at all. If he'd made so much noise and survived regardless, it was safe to assume that there would be no ambushes. And even if there was, it would be 2v2. We'd be on equal footing. As expected, we made it to the plaza without anything happening. Yoshitsugu-kun hadn't said a word the whole way. He was just breathing heavily, like when he attacked me, and his eyes were so wide that his agitation seemed to become madness. I'll look. Not waiting for an answer, I went to the dining hall. I was instantly assaulted by a strange reek. We would never eat here again. As I became certain of that fact, my heart sank, which was pretty out of character for me. I took a step forward. The cupboard's glass was completely destroyed, and there were porcelain pieces all over the place. This must have been caused by Yoshitsugu-kun's rampage. Her bed was upstairs. I went up carefully, just in case. But it didn't feel like there was anyone alive inside. The supports and walls were slightly damaged in places. Yoshitsugu-kun had taken it really hard, huh? Even the phone, the only one in the village, was completely broken and on the floor. After seeing it, I went further in to her room. It was the same. The philosophy behind the murder was the same as Haru-chan's. The bloody footprints were standard at this point. There was no doubt that this was done by wolves. What was different was that it wasn't a clobbering, but a slashing. Kaori Oribe's remains were cut up and drowning in a sea of blood. She hadn't been torn apart or split up randomly. It was best to say that she'd been cut into rings. Her body was lying on its back, covered neck to toe in horizontal slashes. It did make it to the bone, but didn't break through them. Her entire front was cut open like a fish fillet. I couldn't tell whether she died from blood loss or suffocation due to the multiple neck injuries, but whichever it was, she'd suffered an awful end. And yet again, for some reason, her face was left completely untouched. She'd clearly vomited lots of blood, and her expression was downright demonic. Had she been conscious while it was happening? Were the faces of the detestable wolves burned into her now dead eyes? I'd seen how intense this woman could be, and at this point, part of me felt like it was the real her. However, no matter how demonic, she was definitely a loving mother. To both her two sons, as well as Yasumizu as a whole. Looking at her reminded me of the Buddhist goddess demon Hariti, or Kishimojin, no matter how irrelevant that was. And oh boy, was it irrelevant. In Shinai-sama's court, gods on the outside had absolutely no power. Haruaki finding the most roundabout way to say there is no god if shit like this is happening. Suddenly, I realized that her arms were completely unharmed. I also noticed that some of the wounds seemed to be facing downwards. The back of the hand was facing upwards, while the palm was facing down, despite the wounds being on the palm. Why? Upon further observation, I noticed something strange about her undamaged hand. Her fingers were in a peculiar position. Her right hand squeezed its pinky and ring finger. Meanwhile, her left was grasping all the fingers except the thumb. Had she been conscious when she'd gotten these wounds? Had she bent her arms and pushed her fingers on the floor into this position? Was it a shape created by her painful, absurd end? Or perhaps some sort of message? Hang on, I'm checking some. Yoshitsugu-kun had caught up with me. With Yasunaga-kun in tow. Quark, do you want to keep going with Yasunaga, or should I take back over?
Whoa!
Oh.
Oh.
That it?
What are you getting at? It think I understand how I feel? You want me to wail or something?
You think I understand how I feel? I don't. I can't
Oh,
fucking think.
mood.
Yeah.
Mood.
I'm grieving too. This is pure despair. But I need to think so I can avenge her.
Something's wrong, bro. Your voice is doing the thing it did in the first stream.
Oh, fuck, really? Mom always told me to think a lot, study a lot, and get my voice changed, and become a hallmark of excellence so that Dad could rest in peace. I'm jealous of you. You don't have to deal with that. You lived however you wanted, but you still got all of Mom's attention.
Ugh.
In the end, I've been clinging to something so childless my whole life and always wasted time on such a useless thought. But I still thought that all these walls between us would be gone when he grew up and Mom became reasonable. But then she never became reasonable. But that's impossible now. It makes me feel empty.
Aniki.
I know it's just how Japanese is, but I still don't know how that nickname comes from that. But.
Please, don't say stuff like
Or
that.
or is Aniki just brother or
What do you-
something like? I don't
what
know.
do
What? Never mind.
Aniki's brother,
Aniki
but it's
means
also
big brother.
Okay.
Usually
it's
in a
commonly
Yakuza
used in a
context.
Yakuza context, which is
Okay.
probably why he's using it.
Okay. He's
Bro.
trying to sound cool by using a Yakuza
He's trying to
slang
look
word.
tough. He's trying
Yeah,
to look tough.
which is exactly in character.
Mommy's gone. She'd always say something if we were being troublesome, but she's no longer here. Why are you being troublesome at a time like this?
I will avenge her. I will find out what these fingers mean, understand it, and chase down who did it. That will be the end of my involvement with her.
Mommy loved you!
Oh.
She always pissed me off, too! We talk, she always talk about you! She do it with others, too! Hell, she even talk about you while she's by herself! You live in the dorms, so you don't know this, but recently, she often talked to Dad's photo. And always about you!
You're lying.
I'm not! She loved you more than me! Of course she did! You're better than me! That's why she pushed this shit on me!
Suddenly, he pushed me aside and went forward and reached for her body.
Hey, what are you doing?
Mommy! So sorry!
All choked up, he screamed and opened his dead mother's mouth.
It ain't here!
Yoshitsugu, stop!
Did she swallow something?
Yasunaga-kun's eyes widened at my question, while Yoshitsugu-kun reached for the wound on her neck.
Mommy! Found it.
What he took out was something small and covered in blood. He cleaned it with his fingers, exposing something transparent. Apparently, it was something covered in food wrapping.
Aniki. Open it. She told me to dig through her body if she died.
The fuck?
And give what I find to you.
Why'd she make you do?
She really did love you more than me. Wake the fuck up!
Fusaishi, Sam. Sorry, because you opened it for me, my hands are shaking.
I felt apologetic. I probably wasn't even supposed to be here in the first place, so I would at least do this much. For the benefit of the audience. The wrap had a rolled piece of paper inside. When I unrolled it, I realized just how small it was. There was tiny but legible writing on it. The wrap protected any damage caused by blood or saliva, so I could read it clearly.
Other.
It's like the gender
Huh.
drop down menu where it's like male, female, other. Please specify. All right. hang on. I had the Discord window open in the other one, and I realized exactly what scene it was in relation to. But Quark had a line where she said they should both get all oiled up and wrestle to determine who gets to have Haruaki. Which, given the tone of that scene, was pretty fun. It was very funny.
I hear you are roboting
You're
again.
roboting.
Great, cool. I love it here. Excellent.
Blew your internet.
I am going to shit myself.
Live on stream.
Yeah.
Wow.
Twice.
Wow.
That's dedication.
Yeah. Okay. While I wait for the internet to reconnect, I'm gonna read Quark's message though, because I'm very like your
I
takes.
guess it's good. I can just
You are not getting any less robot-y.
Great.
But
Cool. I really, Quark, I know I say it a lot, and I hope it doesn't come off as like overly patronizing or like trying to be flattering or anything, but I genuinely think that your takes on media are some of the most like nuanced and well put things ever. And
Thank you.
I also totally understand not being able to say it while on stream, because that's what I do all the fucking time. Is I just and awe and talk in circles and shit like that.
that hit the character limit 5 times.
Yeah.
Let's go. Literary analysis.
I love to talk. I love to talk.
I love hearing you talk.
Thank you.
Yeah. Again, I think it is a very interesting, like a very interesting. Yeah. Okay. I had to double check.
I'm not very well versed on a lot of this stuff naturally.
Yeah.
I guess. But
yeah. No. There's a lot
this
of
is
like thematic stuff.
very interesting way of looking at it. Definitely.
There's a lot of thematic stuff that is closely related to like religion, like a lot of Eastern religions that we as Westerners just don't get nearly as much exposure to.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And having that as a lens to look through when perceiving this particular game, because of how much it relies on traditional Japanese like myths and values, is very important to take into account. And it makes it a lot. It's one way to make it's a much more favorable way to look at the game, and I think that there's a lot of Western audience members that don't really take that stuff into account. Like this is an aspect of the game and the quote bedroom woman servant that Ozzy II, the guy who did the video essay that like showed me this game, that's not something that he touches on at all in his video.
Yeah.
And
I mean, first of all, it's just a little awkward to talk about.
yeah,
but
for sure.
Yeah.
Especially on a YouTube
it's
video,
also
which you are
just-
hoping that it gets monetized, but
Yeah, it's also just it's hard to find resources for this. Like,
yeah.
Specifically me, I got into Shinto mythology pretty young because I was really into Toho and I wanted to know more about it. So
That would do it.
I've read the Nihon Shoki and all of that. But like even that is still like missing context, you know?
Mhm.
Like
there's an entire culture there that wrote this.
Mhm.
And I don't know anything about the people that wrote it or why they wanted to write it, what this meant for them. And like I do know some things, like the cultural context surrounding it. Like for example, some of the myths were meant to justify invasion by the Yamato people by
Mhm.
saying this was their promised land.
Mhm.
The gods gave this land to them.
Yeah. And
But like,
and there can be a lot of sorry, no, you keep going.
no, and I have like a very small crash course in specifically Mahayana Buddhism, but like Buddhism has so fucking much to it, like even compared to other religion, because it loves to syncretize things, so it's taking things from like every other religion around.
Yeah, there are so many like religions that will do that. Like even like
Yeah,
it's honestly like when you learn about like ancient myths
and it's like this was taken from something else.
Yeah, no, like there's stuff in the Bible where like as I learn more and more about it, I'm like, yeah, that's all right, yeah, that's Cain and Abel. Okay. And just like going further back, and it's one of the things that really fucking interests me about Persona as a series, because Persona puts that shit to specific named characters that we have created in our brains, because deep down the idea that we have like that we as humanity have these aspects of ourselves that come to life in the form of gods and goddesses and stories and myths around real people that are built up, and how interesting that is, because like the persona is an idea in actual psychology that is kind of tied to that, and the idea of and that's so interesting to me, and knowing how far back that kind of stuff can go is so fucking fascinating. And just it's one of the reasons that I think tradition in this particular game is so interesting, because there's such little that we as Western readers can really dig their teeth into. That said, it's really cool. I like it a lot. This game will find a way to to fuck it up.
Yeah.
I am waiting for the other shoe to drop. You guys will not like it when it does.
Let's go.
But it also, just because the other shoe that
ominous foreshadowing about this game, I'm scared.
Just because the other shoe that is dropping is Dennis's fucking spiked cleat boot that he was gonna drop on SpongeBob and Patrick before he's like, "Don't worry, this will only hurt a lot." You know, just because that's the other shoe that's waiting to drop, doesn't mean that the rest of the game isn't really.
It doesn't mean we can't have a good time anyway.
Yeah. But also, like, there's a lot to be said about the rest of the game, thematically and narratively, and it's like one of the reasons that I have the opinion that, like, just because the ending of something is terrible doesn't necessarily mean that the rest of it is. It's the reason that I have a fondness for certain King novels.
Yeah, I get you.
Yeah.
Like, I still like Persona 3, even if I thought the entirety of the answer was dog shit.
Yeah, exactly. But that was the last impression that you got of the game, and so it
that
kind of
was my
negatively
last
soured
impression.
your opinion. Yeah, exactly. So it's like, oh god. The comparisons
Did you
to
ever play
King
that in the remake, Clue?
What was that?
Did you ever get to that part of the remake?
I got to.
I have not actually had a. Oh, you're talking.
No. I mean, I got to January 31st and then put the game down because I was so scared of advancing because I knew it was going to be the ending sequence of the game, and it was going to be really, 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 really sad. Duck picked it up recently and is getting to the end of the game, so I'm thinking about picking it back up and like maybe reloading a save from like half a month back so that I can just kind of get back into the swing of things. Yeah, sorry. Oh, okay. But yeah.
Go for a sec.
Yeah, but like I don't know, it's such a like the what was it before? Oh, just about the ending thing. This will not be the last time that I make comparisons between this game and Stephen King novels, because just because the ending sucks shit doesn't mean that there's not a lot of really, really interesting themes and relationships to explore and learn about.
Okay, note to self: do not look forward to the ending of this game.
I really hate. There's still a lot to like about the ending of this game, but oh my god, there's one big stupid. Not even one big. There's a lot
We'll
of.
see when we get there, Chloe.
We
don't
will
need to go,
in like a month.
qualify everything
A
3
month.
months in
That's
advance.
yeah. Anyway, this list: Rikako Uematsu, Chiemi Serizawa, Chikamochi Kamoshida, Meiko, other. What are we thinking that this is in reference to?
I have absolutely no idea. But do I ever?
If she was telling Yoshitsugu to look for it if she was killed, then it's probably about who was attacking her.
Is it like a list of who's the most likely candidates? Like, does she think that Rikako is the most likely to have attacked her, and then Chiemi, and then Mochi, and then Meiko, and then other is just like, because I think those
They
four.
were drawing attention to a lot of specific stuff with her body.
Yeah.
They're going to tell us in 3 lines anyway.
Oh, for sure. But I just like having our own takes first.
Yeah.
Oh, good. Mush, do you want to read this as her last lines?
Sure. Please read this together, you two. I always knew you were concerned about my attitude. I wanted Yasunaga to show what he's capable of somewhere far away from this dreadful place, and I would be too worried if I didn't have Yoshitsugu at my side. I came this far with such thoughtlessness, but it doesn't seem like I will survive this night, so please understand this much. I loved both of you more than anything in the world. Please forget everything aside from that and have a fun, brotherly life. Mother.
I didn't get the chance to say it earlier, but oh my god, when Yoshitsugu was just like dropping any mask of like macho-ness and all that and just straight up crying over his mommy like that's fucking effective. This wasn't something I could read for them. I just spread it out and put it on the simple dresser on my side. It says you two should read it together. I will leave, but before that, let me examine your mother's remains a bit. They didn't say a word, and I took that as a yes. I walked up to the remains. Again, I checked that the wounds on the palms were facing down. The right hand's thumb, index finger, and middle finger were up, while on the left it was only the thumb. She's saying that it's Mochi? I looked into the wound Yoshitsugu-kun had reached into and extended my finger toward it. I opened it up and examined the cut. There was just one large tube. I see.
Tube?
I'm done here. I'll wait with everyone else downstairs. Yeah, tube? What? Takumi-san was standing at the entrance to the dining hall along with everyone else. He was armed with a farming tool, while Kanzo-san had a hunting knife. It was obvious that they'd walked around all of Yasumizu and woke everyone up. Thus, they understood the situation. The Oribe brothers and I missed them because we left our houses earlier than they came to us. They'd probably woken up early because they were worried about their mother. Takumi-san wasn't saying a word. He just cast his eyes down and tightly pursed his lips. He vehemently ignored his urge to run to Kaori-san. As a man who couldn't, or was too late to, become their father, he thought he had no right to step into their family matters. It was a tragedy. From start to finish. Good morning, everyone. This might be a bad time for this, but I now understand everything. Once they're back, I propose we start the final feast. It took a whole hour. I didn't hear any loud noises from upstairs the entire time. That was why, when they came downstairs with red eyes, we all understood that they'd been quietly crying. Everyone silently agreed with my proposal, and we all went to the hall. We all had our sake, and the eldest among us spoke.
We're starting the feast.
Yasunaga-kun instantly raised his hand. May I, Fusaishi-san? I don't mind. Then, I declare that Rikuko Uematsu and Shikamochi Kamoshida are wolves. Actually, W, do you want to take over for Yasunaga since you don't have any characters left?
I could.
And he's probably going to be the one talking a lot most here.
Mm-hmm.
Huh?
Wait,
Mochi's not in his dress.
didn't you believe Uematsu?
Saving the snake, Fusaishi-san, from death made her trustworthy, but not completely. In fact, by getting Fusaishi-san on her side, she probably avoided becoming the target of his ability last night. That might have been her intention.
Well, it's true that I investigated Yoshitsugu-kun last night.
You suspected me?
What was the result?
He's a human.
Oop.
Sorry, hang on. Yep. That. Oop. Yep.
Knew it. It means the only one whose identities we don't know are Rikuko Uematsu, Meiko, Chiene, and Mochi.
Why do you think they didn't give us the idea? Yeah, on her hands she had 1 finger and 3 fingers. On up.
Yep.
So, what? Why do you think we weren't given the choice to choose who we investigated last night? Because I don't remember.
It's more dramatic.
I guess, yeah.
However, my now late mother, Kaori Oribe, did the final filtering for us.
He reached into his pocket and took out the letter from before. Kaori-san's final words. Everyone came closer and read it. Some began to choke up and cry, but everyone knew that what mattered right now wasn't the message she'd left to the brothers. Rikuko Uematsu, Chieme Serizawa, Shikamochi Kamoshida,
1 thumb,
Meiko,
3 fingers.
Mm-hmm.
What does this part mean?
This is a list of people Mom found most suspicious, written in her handwriting. Included those who weren't confirmed to be human by the snake or anything else. Chiene, Mochi, Uematsu-san, Meiko. Mom excluded herself, obviously. And Yoshitsugu isn't here because she simply trusted him. She also left an other point, just in case Fusaishi-san or someone else turned out to be wolves. Though, even if it was other, it would be a hint that Fusaishi-san was lying, which would be invaluable to us. She used this to leave us a message.
Wait, this is just a list of names. How do you turn this into a hint?
The number of fingers Mum was holding up. Most of you didn't see it, but her fingers were in strange positions. Fusaishi-san, Yoshitsugu,
Yoshitsugu's name is probably one of the
Take
worst
your time.
ones.
Yoshitsugu,
Yoshi.
Yeah.
Yoshi!
Yoshi, you remember how they were, right?
The right was clenching the pinky and the ring finger, while the left was clenching all besides the thumb. She held up 3 on her right and 1 on her left, didn't she?
Yeah, that's right. Sorry, my cat is currently blocking my monitor.
Oh,
Oh no!
Baba is attention starved.
Step away for like 30 seconds to get him some food. Get it back.
Yeah. The number of fingers are pointing to the wolves?
Yes, when the wolves come, you wouldn't have the time to leave a message like this. That's why she wrote it down and swallowed it.
Ugh.
Paper isn't tasty.
That would be line number 2 of Dubby's living characters tonight. Be silent, Mako.
Hey, Chen, you're scary.
Your voice is different. She had to go that far.
Now, you must remember Haru-chan's death. Just like Mom, she was brutally killed on her futon. There's no sign of resistance from her. Mom's surroundings were a mess, but that was because...
I went ape shit.
Yes. That means they both died while for some reason being unable to resist, or their remains damaged after they were killed. That means that while you're dying, you aren't in a state to do anything, and the wolves are watching too. It's hard to imagine you could leave any dying message in that situation, but Mom found a loophole.
Very clever woman.
I see. It's hard to think you could write a message using your own blood or something. The wolves would just see and erase it.
Exactly. Can't leave any major info. However, if you write the actual information somewhere else and provide the bare minimum needed to find it, that would be more than enough. Mom's way was using her fingers, and the wolves didn't notice. Didn't think it was possible to go around the feast's rules like this. It must have been I was too hard-headed. When I refused to try anything impossible, Mom didn't. She went as far as to swallow this, so I can only imagine how dedicated she was to leave this message. That is all.
Uematsu. So you killed her, huh?
So we should have hanged her yesterday.
No, that is not true.
That's pretty sloppy, Yasun. Is that really enough to conclude that Richan and I are the culprit?
Exactly. I know full well that I am no wolf. In which case, I can only say that Oribe-sama's fingers have to be some sort of mistake.
What if you're supposed to read it differently? What if she counted the bent fingers?
That'd mean it's Chiemi and Mako. The complete opposite.
Mako is not a wolf, and neither am I. If Yoshitsugu Uribe-sama is a human, then it must be Serizawa-sama and Kamoshida-sama. Uribe-sama's fingers must be some sort of mistake.
Not very convincing.
Yeah, you're not
what
doing
are
a
you
good
saying?
job here.
It's not me! Yeah, it doesn't really make sense. Honestly, I think we should look into the possibility that Hassan's a wolf.
They looked at me with suspicious eyes. Apparently, even almost dying from poison wasn't enough to earn their unconditional trust. We haven't settled it yet, Yasu.
I have no doubt that the wolves are Rikako Uematsu and Chikamochi Kamoshida.
Do you have anything to support the trustworthiness of the message?
I didn't want to say it. But when the poisoner used aconite, I thought of you.
Oh, I see.
Because he's a Nosato. Well, it is true that we learned how to handle poisonous plants.
Haruaki-san, do you remember if you ate something leaf-like when you were poisoned?
I'd been on guard, so of course I remembered. There were some largish onion and cabbage pieces, but I didn't see anything strange.
Exactly. We all checked your bowl afterwards and it didn't look like there was any aconite inside. It must mean the poison was in fluid form, extracted from the plant itself. The only ones who are capable of doing that are Kyonosuke Nosuto-san and him, the ex-heir apparent to the family. Knows a lot about herbs, poisonous or otherwise.
That reminded me that last time Kaori-san put just the cut leaves, and Kyonosuke-san instantly noticed.
Really? Don't we all know what aconite looks like? Anyone can think of extracting the poison, right?
Mochi, you're not doing yourself very many favors here.
Why aren't you just
Is he
saying that it's
stupid?
not you?
But it isn't. I mean, look at my arms. There's no way I can cut up a corpse.
How did you know that Mom's body was cut up?
Everything seemed to grind to a halt.
Oops.
Uh-oh.
Oopsie poopsie.
Yasunaga Oribe glared at his ex-friend with both anger and a bit of grief. Shikamochi Kamoshida looked back at him with a poker face. So Kaori-san's message is true.
Yes.
Kamoshida-sama. It cannot be true.
Alright, hold it. I got some looks that could kill. But I had to do it. Everything depended on it. I believe Yasunaga-kun is on the right path, and that Kaori-san's work is invaluable for us. However, I believe that there are some things you failed to consider.
What is it? I'm all ears.
Ignoring his somewhat antagonistic tone. You mentioned Kaori-san's body. All of it was covered in cuts, except for the face and hands. First of all, why did they ignore those places? Consider Haru-chan. Her face was intact, but her hands certainly weren't. I felt bad about making them remember things they didn't want to, but I had no choice. I think I can understand leaving the face. Considering how brutal the murder is, the face being untouched just makes it more cruel. But what about the hands? Fingers are easier to cut than any part of the body. Why did they leave them? Wouldn't you say it seems artificial? Like whoever did it wanted to leave a dying message?
Artificial?
Yes. To cut to the chase, the wolves left them like that to trick us.
Hold the fuck on! The paper had Mom's writing!
Oh, and it must be. I don't doubt that. Kaori-san likely swallowed it for the plan you mentioned. And Yoshitsugu-kun was told to take it out in case something happened, right?
Yeah, I was.
I think that's flawed, since all secrets are likely to be leaked out into the open, but I'm not going to talk about the possibilities. The problem is that the way she was killed didn't let her leave this message. You think she couldn't have resisted because she couldn't move a finger? I'm not sure about that. Maybe yes, maybe no. Instead of speculating, I will just ask Nosuto-san.
Me?
Yes. Can you clench your hand with deep cuts all over your arm?
Oh.
That is... impossible. The muscles that move the joints in the fingers are to the arm, not the palm.
What?
If she put her fingers into those positions before she was cut, her hand should have opened when the muscle was damaged. On the other hand, if she wanted to do it after the cuts, she couldn't grasp her fingers anymore.
But that...
See, that's the kind of cool deduction that a game like Ace Attorney wouldn't, like, do. Because it would, it has a lot more explicit gore to it. But, and obviously this game doesn't show it, and you don't do the decision making to lead to that. But it's a cool, it's a cool thing. It's interesting.
Yeah.
See, so that's why the wounds were facing down.
They were?
Yes, the wounds on the arms the wounds on the arms alone were facing the floor instead of up. She couldn't clench her fingers, so She moved her arms against the floor to force the fingers into that position, and
Do you really think she could? Her arms were destroyed so badly. I highly doubt she could move them. Though, this is a matter of likelihood, too, so let's assume there was a 50% chance she could do it. So far, the only unnatural thing is that the fingers were unharmed, grasped, and that this secret talk didn't leak. There's also another strange thing about it. She was injured in her neck, too. It was a deep wound, but it didn't seem to reach the bone. There was one large tube in the cut. Yoshito-san, what's the first tube you come across when cutting the throat?
The trachea.
That means Yoshitsugu-kun took the paper out of the trachea, the tube that passes air when breathing. With something stuck in a place like that, you'd quickly suffocate. There's no way she could have gotten it in there.
That's what the one tube thing meant. That is true. We have the cough reflex. If you swallow something, it's bound to pass the esophagus instead of the trachea and end up in the stomach.
Also, just like Haru-chan, she vomited out a lot of blood. The letter must have left her body when she was being murdered, and the wolves must have noticed it. The letter is real, but it was stuffed into her throat afterwards by wolves who don't know anatomy.
then
Yes, the hands were unharmed because they wanted to pass on a false message. The wounds on the arms were reversed because the number of fingers up wouldn't stay that way unless they used the floor to do so. Also, it's likely that the wolves heard her talk about swallowing the letter and went out of their way to search for it.
Ugh.
These wolves are really fixated on destroying the remains. By being thorough about that, they prevented any chance of the humans leaving such messages. At least that's what I think. They're really meticulous, astute, and cunning. A bit tired of talking, I fell silent for a moment, and no one spoke up in my place. Yeah, I'm also a bit tired
of talking, huh?
Yeah. It has been a huge relief passing off one of my characters to W and Quark because, oh my god. When Takumi and Yasunaga were yapping during one of the feasts, and then Haruaki, like, it was just like, I couldn't breathe.
If we ever
They
do
were
a game
all
like
at a
this
loss
again,
for
the
words.
protagonist needs to have, like, just the protagonist.
Yeah. That's why Kaori-san's fingers are a red herring. We can't base our accusations on that. Kanzo Makishima-san. Have the dead left any messages in previous feasts?
The elders all used to say, the dead only tell the Yomotsu Okami's lies.
And there you had it. I liked those words. They were on theme with the story, too. You can't trust dying messages. By merely proving that, Kaori-san contributed to us immensely.
I understand and agree. Although there's new knowledge I didn't have, it does seem very suspicious. Who are the wolves? What does Mochi slip of the tongue mean?
We already have the answer. Rikako-san, what did you say before we talked about this?
If Yoshitsugu Oribe-sama is a human, then I and Meiko are human as well. That leaves just Shikamochi Kamoshida-sama and Chiemi Serizawa-sama.
Her words were slow, and so was everyone else's reaction. Slowly,
Exactly the two we'd suspected.
they turned to
Poor.
Chiemi, who'd almost never faced suspicion this whole feast.
No way. I mean, what? Well, I don't want to believe that too, but there's nothing that says it isn't Rikako-san, right?
Then I would let her do the talking. Rikako-san, you aren't the spider, are you?
Correct.
I knew it. Naturally, the impact of that revelation was great. You could tell by just looking at everyone's shocked faces. Who is the real spider?
Meiko.
Are you sure, Oni-chan?
Yes. I trust Haruaki-sama.
Horrible decision, really.
Yeah, I'm the spider. I had an 8-chan sting on my tummy.
She pointed at Rikuko-san's brooch. Fuck.
Huh? What? Why? Did you see her guardian mark?
It's so... Every time I mispronounce a word that's not even Japanese, I fucking want to shoot myself. It's just like, God damn it! Like, fucking up pronouncing, like, Yoshitsugu or, like, Kami Fujiyoshi. It's like, that's understandable. But brooch is, like, it's not an easy word to read, but, like, it just, anyway.
It's not pronounced remotely the way it's spelled.
Mm-hmm. Of course not. That is a taboo act. That will render me deserving of the corruption. However, as a bedroom woman servant, it is my role to watch over the darkness in Fujiyoshi. So, in the case that the mist came, and this girl became involved, I taught her a few things, since she could not read yet, and so I could help her.
I remembered the symbols.
What are you drawing?
Those are guardians.
And guardians?
That if I'm the spider, my leg starts to hurt. 8-chan, I rolled in my futon and hit my leg. It hurts.
A bit later, I will make it better with some magic words. Just really clever enough to use a little coded message like that.
Ooh.
Interesting.
Mhm.
And if you were the snake,
My eyes would hurt.
and the crow,
My tummy would hurt.
and a wolf,
My head would hurt.
Mako was talking way more than usual. She probably wanted to talk a lot during the feasts, but we never gave her a chance to.
and the monkey,
I don't have to say it.
My butt hurts.
that is because I cannot claim to be her when she is the monkey.
I see. But how did Mako write down the names of the people she'd protect as the spider?
I wrote them down myself, then gave it to her when changing her clothes.
It doesn't have to be the one with the guardian themselves who writes it.
I was not sure, so I had her copy my writing.
I learned lots of hiragana.
That makes one of us.
You're so smart.
She's so smart. She's good.
So good.
This might be an actual loophole in the feast's rules. Secret talks during the day are never actually secret, but if you somehow encrypt the information ahead of time...
Wolves who got it couldn't decipher it. Probably wouldn't even recognize it as info. No one would think that such a little girl was bending the rules.
When you looked at it as a game, it was clearly unfair. However, when our lives were on the line, we couldn't really care about that. Anyway, though Rikuko-san wasn't the spider, she was like her representative and used this position to protect Kanzo-san once.
You seemed the most important of us back then, but I could not predict that they would attack Haru Makishima-sama next.
It's fine. Spider that protects one is a good spider.
Thought it was weird. Spider Noni has no reason to out themselves. It was strange that we had two.
That was true, but with the old wolf guy being the other candidate, I really couldn't understand why it had happened. Still, there was no point in thinking about it in this loop. I suspected this on the first day when she insisted I voted for her instead of Mako. She was probably thinking of becoming Mako's shield, coming out as a fake spider, and letting the real one live on. Also, since you told Mako to tell you if she was a wolf...
Yes, I intended to kill her, and suffer the corruption.
And since I knew the truth, I was able to reduce the suspects to just 3. All that was left was to confirm which one of them was human. That would mean that the other 2 were wolves.
The process of elimination. If you picked a wolf, you still wouldn't know the last one.
I see. So you picked the least suspicious one of the 3, Yoshitsugu.
More or less.
Ah, so you didn't suspect me.
Now, after hearing all that, can you still say this is all just a well-crafted fabrication? See, this is the shit that I
This
love.
is the shit!
I love this theme because it really gives it just fits the mood of, like, emotions running high, but also you have to think logically. I don't know what it is about it.
Mm-hmm. It does sound a lot. It's very kind of similar to the logic themes from Phoenix Wright.
Exactly. And you, the 2 we have left thanks to the process of elimination, do you have any excuses that would work to prove you aren't the wolves?
If I am, why was I a wolf in Mommy Kaori's false info?
Yes, it makes no sense. Why would a wolf have to mix true information with the false?
Because he is the decoy.
Shit.
How do you believe I was poisoned?
Yes, that still isn't clear. That's why Lady Oribe was suspected. She was the only one who could target... you? Wait.
Yes. She's the only possible option, if you're aiming specifically for me, anyway.
I see. So that's how it is.
Naruhodo.
Didn't matter who died.
Exactly. I wasn't a target at all. They didn't care about who died. Whoa, hold on. What do you mean? They targeted you because you're the snake, right? That's the very source of the misunderstanding. It just so happened that the poisoned bowl went to me. He probably found a chance to get poison in a bowl and took it. Maybe it was just a drop on the top bowl. He had more than enough opportunities to do something that simple. And when it was time to eat, the wolves just avoided their bowls and chatted while watching if something was happening to the others. They'd only eat after they saw who got the poison. After the chaos that followed, it was impossible to tell if someone was avoiding the food. If no one ended up getting poisoned, it would mean that one of their bowls had the poison, so they'd say they weren't feeling hungry and excuse themselves. Anyway, doing that would reduce the humans by 1. Makishima-san, Takumi-san, and Yasunaga-kun have a lot of influence here. Nosato-san's position here is complicated. Rikuko-san is the self-proclaimed spider, while I'm the snake. You can say that most of the humans are worth killing for them. And if the poison killed someone, the only suspect would be the cook, and the only one who could target someone, Kaori-san, the self-proclaimed crow. Then you almost died. Because of a simple coincidence. But since I'd just revealed that I was the snake, it was extremely effective. If I died because of this, the wolves wouldn't have killed Kaori-san, and she would have been hanged today. You seeing this shit, Temmie? I took a few breaths. Everyone was silent, probably because they were reflecting on the way they'd suspected her yesterday. But not only did I survive, Uematsu-san's strange power that saved me helped her gain some level of trust. That being the case, they assumed that she would use her spider powers to protect me, meaning they couldn't kill me that night either. They probably did consider killing her, but as she proves time and time again, her position here in Fujiyoshi is extremely poor. It was enough for her to be hanged if measured against Chiemi-chan. They could kill her in the daytime, so they decided to kill Kaori-san instead. Whether that was a good second option aside, I don't think it's unlikely for these two to think that way. Now, back to the matter at hand. Killing 2 people in one day makes you a target of the corruption. That means that Shikamochi Kamoshida poisoned the bowl knowing what would happen, He probably did it even while knowing that he, as a disowned Nosato child, would be the prime suspect. Typically, it's hard for all the wolves to survive. If they actively faked having guardians, they would certainly end up hanged. However, thanks to some form of unity between them, they could choose scapegoats from among them to serve the role of the faker or the rule breaker. That's Chikamochi Kamoshida's role. That's why he was probably ready to die because of Kaori-san's final message. However, if Rikako-san was hanged today, they could kill me today, make a mess of things, and maybe even survive. That's what they were betting on, I assume. Unfortunately for them, it didn't work. He looks down with a half smile, gathering everyone's attention.
That seems really one-sided. I mean, we have no proof that Hassan and Richan are what they claim to be.
He brought up something we'd been over already. And since that was all they had left,
And maybe you can actually read Mommy Kaori's fingers some other way? Mochi. That's enough. It's getting cringeworthy.
Mochi is cringe confirmed.
Cringe!
Mochi is cringe.
Man. Yeah. Let's kill them all.
Everyone here had a certain hope. They believed that if exposed, the wolves would admit it and give themselves in. It would be too late for them to keep struggling after all. Certainly
Okay,
they
so
wouldn't...
none of us have commented on guns!
Yeah, certainly
got
they wouldn't
shotguns!
attack the humans head on. Yeah, this is fucked. Certainly
Good
their
expressions, though.
certainly their ex-neighbors wouldn't be that malicious and murderous. I couldn't blame them for their optimism. I was the only one who knew how badly Yasunaga Uribe changed last time, so I should have been the one to take care. However, even I could be taken off guard. I knew that the current wolves were wicked, but I'd thought it was because of Chikamochi Kamoshida, the boy with unusual tendencies and devilish intuition. I knew that she could use a gun, but I didn't expect her to whip one out right in front of us. She was the girl who'd told me to leave her and run, despite the invisible god terrorizing her. The girl who'd opened herself up to me, despite knowing it wasn't meant to be. I never would have thought she'd bring a gun to this place and try to take everyone with her. Turn was so unexpected that the smart ones here were frozen. Those who hadn't suspected her weren't moving either. The ones who did. Chiemi, stop! Was the one most proactive among us.
Oh my god! Sorry.
You fool!
And the one who didn't trust anyone. When the first shot was fired, the buckshot aimed at the end of the circle was blocked by Takumi-san's body. His large frame absorbed the bullets, bursting apart.
Aha!
Past his collapsing body, I saw her face. A beastly smile. A moment later, Chikamochi Kamoshida fired his own gun. Kanzoshi was charging towards him with a clenched fist, and the shot blew off his face.
Next.
Beyond the bloody mist they left behind, I saw the eyes of a bird of prey.
Run!
The next person Chiemi aimed at was Yoshitsuku-kun, who was trying to charge at her. That was when Kanzo-san, on the verge of death, landed a punch on Chikamochi. As I absent-mindedly watched. Kyo. Precisely. It's up to you.
I'm not sure absent-mindedly is the right word there.
I get what they meant, but yeah. I felt like I heard that voice, which snapped me out of my torpor. Kinosuke was the same in that regard. Our eyes met, and then I hurried to take Rikako-san and Meiko's hands, while he grabbed Yasunaga-kun by the shoulders. Without even seeing the results of the third shot, we ran straight for the exit. We were closer to the exit than the elder side. We heard another gunshot, but we weren't in a situation to turn around. Rikako-san dropped to the ground, letting out a cry as she did, and I ended up basically dragging her so we could evade our assailants. Kinosuke saw that. His expression changed, and he, still holding Yasunaga-kun's hand, used his open hand to push my shoulder. I felt like there was a silent understanding between us. Not saying a thing, he hurriedly let go of Yasunaga-kun, and took Rikuko-san's hand, while I took Yasunaka-kun's now empty hand. It was an irrational action. However, I'd probably thought that I had no right to hold her by the hand, a feeling which made it hard for me to run. Kyonosuke staunchly grasped her and started running. Following his example, I took Meiko under my arm and started running, pulling Yasunaka-kun with me. The young man seemed to be in a stupor. Was it just me? Or was the mist even denser than usual? It probably felt that way because I was running, making the lack of visibility way more dangerous. I followed the graveled path and ran up a hill.
It's okay. I can run by myself now.
Hearing that clear voice, I let go of his hand. Where should we run?
Nosado Mansion is the sturdiest building here.
That made sense. The other two were going there too, so if we regrouped and held our ground there... Oh god!
Aha!
I'm not used to seeing sprites moving in this game. Suddenly I heard laughter coming from the side. It almost made me freeze, but I held myself together and lowered my head. Another gunshot. I could clearly feel the bullets fly past the top of my head.
Chiene, why?
Keep running!
Ah!
Oh, Meiko. Meiko cried for the first time ever.
No.
I had to keep running while closing her mouth. I'd expected Yasunaka-kun to be right behind me, but I couldn't hear his footsteps anymore.
Please stop.
He was probably trying to convince Chiemi.
I've always liked you, you know?
The feeling ain't mutual.
That brief exchange and the gunshot that followed seemed strangely clear. Please don't make a sound, Meiko. Shut. Is this the end of the line for this loop? With Japan being a mostly gun-free society, their power could easily be both overestimated as well as underestimated, making it hard for us to gauge. However, here in a mist where I could barely see anything and could be hit at point-blank range by surprise, I was all too aware. Guns were frightening tools that could end a life with a single pull of the trigger.
Haruaki-san, where are you?
I made it to Tai Yamawaki-san's house, hid behind it, and waited. I had to catch my breath and figure out my best route to the Nosato mansion. By following this path, I could pass the collapsed construction site and arrive at the mansion. That was the fastest way there, but I wasn't sure it was safe.
Come out, I'll help you. Yeah, right.
Hearing that cheerful voice, I heard the unlocked door open up. I'd ran as fast as I could, but she'd caught up easily, probably due to her healthy legs and familiarity with the land. Meiko was trying really hard not to scream, and I was hoping that she could hold it in. Hearing someone enter, I counted to 5 and snuck out. I didn't sense anyone following me. Going down the hill, I passed the plaza and continued making my way to the Nosato mansion, hoping they missed me. Putting Meiko on my back, I continued sneaking. This was the second time I'd reached the final stage with her by my side. Was it fate or something? Shaking away that question, I went ahead. I kept moving forward, and quickly found out I was being too naive.
Funny.
There was a person right before the mansion.
You're way funnier now than when you were alive, Uncle.
There was a mess that looked vaguely human in front of him. He poked at it with something long and thin, probably a shotgun.
Anyway. Guess that just leaves you, doesn't it, Hassan?
I didn't know whether it was because he was a wolf or from the Crow family, but hiding behind an Okiva wasn't enough to fool him.
Oh, if you turn around and run, I'm gonna hit Meiko-chan in your back and kill her. You don't want that, do you?
Fuck her.
He was right.
That aside, can you just face me? Old man Konzo and Uncle did. It's more fun to me this way.
The snappy attitude he'd given us on the latter part of the feast was nowhere to be seen. Faking his behavior to keep up the act just because he was a wolf must have been stressful for him. Right now, I was close to him, and could tell by his expression that he was extremely refreshed. But man, Inosuke seemed to have struggled, Probably to let Rikako-san escape. He had guts in him somewhere, after all.
I don't
No, he
like
doesn't.
shooting people in the back like I did with
No, he doesn't.
Richan. And poor taste.
Fuck. Let Mako run away.
That won't fly. I'm an Okami-sama, you know? Can't let the top Yomibito just walk away.
Why do the wolves always feel like they're written the same character every time they reveal themselves? Because they're literally possessed, according to what the story has told us so far. They're pretending to be people until the moment they're revealed.
Well, she could just return to Yomi on her own or something.
Was he bound by the curse of the real story? I let Mako go. Go down the cliff until you reach the river. Can you do that? Doing that probably meant getting the same ending as last time, but it wasn't impossible that she'd make it. Chiemi wasn't with us. Maybe if the little girl was alone. Whatever the case, it was better than just letting her get shot.
Fusayuki-san.
It's fine. It's gonna work out. And most importantly, if I died here, all of this would return to nothing, and I'd loop. I'd actually reached the point when I considered that in my calculations. Go!
Bye-bye.
As she started to run,
Yeah, not just kidding.
Shikamochi Kamoshida began aiming at her again. I felt intense anger. I couldn't understand him at all. Was this how they really were? Or was this caused by the real story? My body moved before my messed up brain, which was something I didn't expect. My instinct to protect children must have taken over. I heard the gunshot, then felt the lead bullets bite into my body. Because of the poor visibility, and because the buckshot was small, probably meant for birds, the wound wasn't fatal. Still, the pain assaulting my body felt like I was pierced by a dull tip of a sword. I staggered a bit, and then fell to my knees. It hurt. A lot. I didn't feel Mako behind me. She must have ran away without looking back. No idea if that meant anything. It hurt. Fuck, it hurt a lot.
What was that about? Why would you die for her? You're supposed to play with me, Hasan. Get it? Play with me.
Ignoring my pain, he just said that.
Oh well. If you're not up for it, maybe I can turn you into a funny corpse. That's not what we
Maybe.
agreed on, Mochi.
As I heard
That's a
that
fun
voice,
face.
I looked up and saw that Chikamochi Kamoshida was dead. The wolf that popped out of the mist wielded a blade instead of a gun.
I said that I'm gonna take Haruaki-san.
It was an extremely sharp kitchen knife. It was embedded into the hilt in the other wolf's head. The boy quickly collapsed without saying a word. Chiemi grabbed his weapon, checked the chambers, and clicked her tongue. Then she walked up to the boy's corpse.
Out of shots. What a waste of bullets. You suck, Mochi.
And removed the knife from his head. Body jerked for a moment, then lay still. She looked at the weapon, wet with gray matter, and threw it away. I wondered what she'd do next. She took a new weapon out of her sleeve. It was like
How
her
many
entire
she got on her?
It was like her entire body was a
Plenty.
weapon. I began to question just how well I'd actually known her.
Haruaki-san, you're all alone now. It's just the two of us. Not like that means much.
She sounded bored, but I could feel the bloodlust and malice behind her words.
Can't say anything anymore, huh?
Why?
Oh, you can talk. Good to know.
Why are you doing this?
Can you blame me? There's no other way for us, is there?
I didn't think you were like this. I don't know if it's the law or the legend or whatever, but I always thought you'd resist it, no matter how scary it was. Yet you...
Too bad.
She spoke with unbridled malice.
You think it's because Shinai said it? It's just stupid. It's God is making everyone dance like they are. Listen, I just really wanted to kill. Yeah, I even returned back home just because I wanted to kill someone. That's why I'm feeling great right now. Too bad, Romeo. That's how I always was. You have no luck with women, do you?
The fumbler. But that was just...
I thought about what it would be like to kill you from the moment I met you. In a way, this moment is like a dream come true. I'm breaking the rules, so I'll just be a pile of meat tonight. This'll be my final bit of fun before that happens. So now...
Let's make a bet. All my curiosity about the mystery, the fear of the path leading to it, even the pain were all gone. Only pride was left. Give me 10 minutes. I'll use them to run away. Once the time's up, you chase after me. If I get away, I win. You win. I wanted to set my own rules. I'll die with love for you.
That sounds great.
Even if this was a meaningless, insane dead end, I would go and die my own way. Albeit staggering, I could still run if I ignored the pain. I think this is a completely new track.
It doesn't sound familiar.
Blood was flowing out of all of the wounds on my body, so I was probably leaving an easy-to-follow trail behind me. Even so, I ran uphill, toward Kamifujiyoshi. I knew that the path was closed off here. The last loop, Haru-chan had entered the mountain and gotten stuck. The Misty Mountain was a separate realm avoided by the people of Yasumizu. Perhaps, like when I'd left through Saranaga, I was about to get lost in the mist and die to some monster. Even so, if I brought Chiemi here, I could maybe give a chance for Meiko to escape, and that was good enough for me. If she wasn't coming after me, it was unlikely that she'd go after Meiko instead. Chiemi would be left in the village all by herself, to her own insanity. In that case, I figured I had to try running away through here at least once. I'd given up on trying to understand her insanity this time around. Next time. Yeah, I'd think about it next time. I passed the cliff and reached the mountain. The mist was even denser than usual. I looked down and noticed that a lot of the road was covered by a landslide. The earth, sand, and collapsed trees made it pretty much impossible to walk past here. I couldn't tell if it was artificial, nor did I have the knowledge to investigate and find out. I just followed the path. The 10 minutes had already passed, so Chiemi must have been tailing me. Whenever I stopped, I felt I could hear the sound of rustled grass in the distance. She was chasing me. From what I could tell, she was actually following the winding mountain path. That was good for me. I wanted her to keep it up. It made this more interesting. Maybe she wasn't really trying to catch me. The distance between us wasn't closing at all. I suddenly became a bit dizzy. I'm feeling a little woozy here! There was a largest tree nearby. I sat down next to it so I could catch my breath. My vision suddenly turned dim. Quickly opened my eyes, but I had a bad feeling, like I'd actually been out cold for a decent while. I tried standing up and realized that I couldn't move my limbs properly. I must have lost too much blood. The end was close. My dulled senses told me my pursuer was nearby. I tried finding the path again, but I couldn't, for some reason. Apparently my sense of direction, perception, and judgment were fading too. Perhaps things would have worked out if I wasn't injured. No. This was a different realm. Though acknowledged by few, the outskirts of the village were the hunting ground of the merciless mountain god, Great Lord Shinai. The only ones free to move in here.
I couldn't wait, so I just came down.
Were the madmen siding with the mountain god. This was unreasonable, unscientific, superstitious, abnormal. Why was Chiemi up the mountain? I'd always sensed her coming from below. What was that all about?
She has a knife in the spray. I didn't notice that before.
All right. Now love me while I kill you.
I couldn't even say a thing. But I felt like I still had a chance. I rolled down the mountain.
Go, go, go! Do your best!
Brimming with the joy of the hunt, Chiemi chased after me. Part of me wanted the mountain to just collapse. My path was blocked off by the natural trees, plants, growth in general.
You're so cute.
My body was at its limit. Unable to tell whether my vision was turning dim or if the mist was becoming denser, I continued rolling. I used the last bits of my energy to face her. The wolf was coming. It was close. It would devour both my flesh and soul alike. I'd won the feast, so I hoped that the mountain god would at least save my soul. I'd gone through a load of difficult shit thus far, so it wouldn't be unfair to let me have a peaceful ending, right? Yeah, I knew full well that the world wasn't such a kind place. The upcoming death would surely be more painful and desolate than any before. After all, I knew that the one granting it to me was a girl I'd once loved. I didn't want this. I never desired an ending like this. Shit. I didn't care if it made me look like a sore loser. I wanted to go out in a way that would leave a thorn in Chiemi's heart. I thought a lot of meaningless things. But my words escaped me.
Oh.
Wolf's fang pierced the spider instead of me. Why? That was all I could say, physically and mentally. Why was she alive? Why was she here? Why did she protect me? Those questions spun in my head, but only the last one found an answer. Of course she would do this. She was a descendant of the Uematsu until the very end. Her sense of duty and justice hadn't faded, even on the brink of death. She glanced at me, completely denying my assumption. That wasn't it. She was simply obeying her wretched, unwavering heart. After all, I was special to her. Sorry. I said another word. Sorry I couldn't stay with Mako. Sorry I couldn't protect everyone. Sorry I talked a wolf into a gamble that made it impossible for me to look you directly in the eye. That was the last word I would ever say. Even so, my eyes and ears were still active. Thus I witnessed everything that happened.
Don't get in my way!
With a maddened scream, the madwoman tried to pull the knife out. She couldn't. It was probably snagged in her ribs, so badly that neither pushing nor pulling helped.
Sama.
Her voice was hard to make out due to all the blood leaving her mouth, but it was calm, gentle even.
I shall take in your corruption.
Finally, the Yuri route.
What do you know? Yomi's corruption binds me no matter what.
But I remember enough of this to think about what those words meant next time. My failing vision merged them into one, and I noticed Rikako-san's hand reach for Chiemi's neck by chance. Her finger caught on something. It was something on a string. A pendant?
This is...
No! Don't look!
Chiemi released the knife, snatched the object back, and held it to her chest to hide it.
Serizawa-sama.
Her voice was dense with pain. Not only that, it was also tinged heavily with pity.
I am so sorry. That is a corruption not even I can take in.
I had no idea what those words meant, but they carried the impact of a death blow for the wolf.
knew it. I knew it. God. I'll kill you. Where are you? Where? I'll kill you, so come out. Come out.
With that scream, Chiemi ran off somewhere. Into the mist. She probably had no clear direction. Rikako-san collapsed.
I'm sorry, Haruaki-sama.
Trying to move in her heavy-looking robe, she tried to crawl over to me.
I could not protect Serizawa-sama or anyone else.
She wasn't the only one. I thought the exact same thing. I really wanted to say that and go out with a smile. But I could barely even breathe. I used the very last of my power to collapse toward her. I then reached for her hand.
Haruaki-sama.
Her hand lay over mine. All life left our eyes as we were gradually reduced to mere objects. Even so, her dying hand somehow felt warm.
When we rise again, I will be more honest.
Yeah. I wanted to respond to those feelings properly. I would destroy all my chances of losing, and I would leave the mist alongside this foolish, pure, lovable woman. Next time. For sure. It's the title of the game!
Hey,
Oh,
it's
that's
the
the
pun I
title.
figured out early on. So,
Arr.
visual novel yandere.
Yep. Bad ending number 19. Watch Hint Corner? Yeah, another dubby character. Why not?
Sheep.
Yeah. And now H.
You've done.
Couldn't have avoided this one, so don't worry about it.
You fucked up,
Give you a hint so you know how to avoid this horrible outcome. Bad ending 19. Wolves Desperation Annihilation Attack. As you saw in this ending, in order to solve this one, you have to go back to an earlier point and take measures so this outcome never happens. Key 15, you can now open that path. What you gotta do is return there. Specifically go to Wit Decision. Events after that will change completely. Wit route will soon reach its conclusion. It's a long road, but it'll be good if you finally rewarded.
Next time.
Yeah, this is where we're gonna have to
Another
go.
hottie death next time.
Yeah, die better next time. Yeah, forget about it. Welcome back. It's May. Interesting that this game doesn't take place in April for the 4 like with April being the 4th month
yeah.
and 4 being death in Japanese and all that. I don't know. Okay. I think we're gonna call it, because that was
Sounds
quite
good.
a lot. I'm gonna go
Yeah.
to
I really like the deduction going on in that particular ending.
yeah, no, the feast scenes where it's pure deduction happening is like the good shit. That's when this game is like
That's
unambiguously
the part of the game you play it for.
yeah, that is unambiguously the best part of the game in terms of the writing and reasonable emotional and logical decision making. And it's really cool. That said, everything that happened tonight was really interesting. And I still think that the literal words bedroom woman servant suck. But like the whole concept around it is being put in a much different light with Quark's read on it, and also just turning into a shark is just a really funny joke. I made that scene really, I don't know. It made me focus more on the concept of it rather than the, oh, it's an anime girl and she's straddling this guy kind of thing, which is, I don't know. And
Reaching for the belt.
yeah. All right. How many endings are we at right now? So there's 19, but out of those we've gotten
A pretty solid chunk.
15. How many endings are there total? Now that I think about it.
I would assume there's more going to be in the bottom row.
Oh yeah. Let me double check. No, I think it's under read. I'll just load any old save. Go to chart. No, it's not chart. Is it? Keys. Yeah, keys are based on. We always die to get keys.
Oh,
Mostly.
this UI.
Yeah, this UI sucks ass. This game used to be a mobile game. I have to scroll really, really hard to do this. The key number 1. Fuck that. But they did that on purpose, and it's so good.
Oh, 100%.
So good. Let's see if we can look on the map and
Raging
see
Loop?
where 8, 9, 16...
What's the text on Raging Loop?
Oh, yeah, actually. With the reunion of the humans, Rikuko-san's stunt, and Kaori-san's sacrifice, we finally determined who all the wolves were. But they were one step ahead of us. Through their self-destructive attack, everyone died, the worst outcome. I have to aim to get the better of them in order to repay Rikuko-san for protecting me all the way to the end. See, this Raging Loop with a U is what I think Dragoni was initially thinking that the title of the game was spelled like, because I told the premise of being werewolves and all that. Back to the... I think the chart is where we can see keys. I'm just curious where we... Oh my god, this sucks. This sucks. I hate scrolling through this fucking chart, I swear to god.
If it's in this route, it's probably where we told give up.
Yeah. No, I know where it is. It's,
That's what we're looking for.
I was initially looking for, yeah, it's this one. Yeah, so, like, yeah, this one would be. That'd be it. But we're not going to do that right now. We're going to save. I've returned to... Alright. I don't know. I was just looking for where key 3 would be used. Grundlefly? I don't know if I want to believe that that's a real Pokemon.
I am very curious what the fuck that means.
This one is really fucking bothering me. Key 20. The very last key.
When we're drunk.
There's so much that I want to say, but I don't want to say anything because it's so... It's a lot. There'd be a lot of spoilers. But this was good. This was a really good time. No, it's not a Pokemon. It's an infection. You should see a doctor about that. Like Nosato, since apparently he's actually a doctor. Anyway, I will. What do we want to do on Saturday?
Work.
Something, probably.
I should be free.
Yeah, we could probably do a bit more Yeek then, because I want a little bit more time so I can actually set up and like test the DDR setup. So DDR should probably be next week. So we'll probably continue a bit more Yeek on Saturday. I've got for DDR stuff. I've got a tripod that I'm gonna try putting my webcam on, and I've got a tripod I'm going to put my webcam on so that I can like position it further out in the room so that it can accurately show where my so it'll make more sense. And then I'm also going to get a mic arm that's going to let me extend the mic like into the room so that I don't have to worry about killing me or tripping over the cable or anything. But yeah, so I will be announcing the DDR stream beforehand just because it's kind of a bigger thing. And, you know, yeah. So we'll catch you on Saturday, I suppose, for more Geek. I shouldn't sound so disappointed. That is,
Let's go!
We are getting into the most genuinely good, like unabashedly like good section of the game with Vela's Mine Dungeon. So,
Hell yeah!
All right. Cool. All right. Thanks for hanging around, guys. This was a good time.
Bye.
Bye bye.
Bye-bye.
See ya.